welcome, episode 21 of season 2 of the Jumping the Rail podcast. We're coming up on the end of the season because our 2-year episode is just a few weeks away, Menders, so we have to think of something good for that one. But
But I've only been here for 6 months,
that's true.
couple months.
Where has the time gone?
Where has the time gone?
All right, if you haven't noticed, I am Mark Redmond coming to you live from my little apartment in Champaign. And of course, joined by my tag team partner for tonight, Menders. Menders, we are without Gary again this evening. I think he might be taking some time away from the pod for those that are wondering for a multitude of reasons. So when he's ready to come back, we will have a spot waiting for him, as I told him this afternoon. So if you pray, send one to Gary's family for whatever reasons, and then if not, just good thoughts will suffice. But with that said, Menders, we have a lot of wrestling to talk about today.
We partook in 2 wrestling shows.
We just started.
Noodles.
It's not time to stop.
Noodles. But no, we partook in some wrestling this weekend and watched a lot of wrestling this weekend.
A little bit of everything. We went to a couple of live shows in the area, and then, like you said, between Friday and Sunday, there were 4 pay-per-views, plus GCW was running shows. It was. Yeah, if you're a wrestling junkie like I am, it was heaven. If you're the wife of a wrestling junkie, maybe not so much. But
hey, I did most of the shows. I did 3 of the 4.
Okay, yeah, I did too.
4.
I did all 4, but I had to space them out over the entire weekend. If I didn't have a day off yesterday, I would have missed Impact probably.
Yeah. If I wouldn't have had a day off yesterday, I would have missed probably all of the NXT one and the end of Night of Champions.
Let's see, AJ is in definitely a weekend of body slams, beers, and I can't think of a third thing that starts with B.
Bodies, just bodies, period.
Well, technically burgers because we went to rallies after the Terre Haute show.
That's true, burgers.
Yeah, that works. And that was a good burger too.
Yeah, we told you.
My wife still feels bad you didn't get your chicken.
It's okay. It's okay. I didn't pay for it though either, so.
Literally Monday, she was still like, I felt bad.
No, I would say even if it had been, since I didn't pay for it, it didn't bother me, so it was fine.
Yeah, if I would have paid for it, it would have really pissed me off.
If I had paid for it, we would have been still waiting for it.
Yeah, I think that drive-up lady might have been done with us after.
She was done with everything. I don't think it was just us. I think she was done, period.
It looked like she had a long day.
Yeah.
But anyway.
We've got a lot of wrestling to talk about. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. We may have another co-host calling in later on. I don't know if you've heard back from.
I haven't, but that doesn't mean. I'm sure he'll jump on at some point.
Oh, I'm sure. But yeah, so let's just start at the top, Menders. Friday night we went to Iron Spirit Pro in Champaign. The first time at the City Center in Champaign, which I'd seen a million live music shows at, but that's my first wrestling show there. And that was actually a really cool space to have wrestling at.
It was.
Since they've redone it. They kind of renovated that place. So
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, got to see
a lot of names we hadn't seen, a lot of names we had seen.
Right. A lot of ones that I'd heard about that I hadn't seen yet that I was very happy with.
Okay, first match. I'm throwing it out there. First match. Tupu. I told
Solomon
you.
Tupu, the Dragon of the Pacific. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Really good wrestler, Hawaiian, I believe he is. But I dug it. He's got that big hoss feel to him. I forget the name of the guy he wrestled, the Alpha fella.
Beyond Alpha.
Yeah. I know because he'd wrestled 0-1 before, but I just never remember his name.
Before.
But Tupu, he's a big tiger. He's the. I was very impressed with him. I want to see more of that guy going forward. In fact, he might be coming on the podcast sometime. I talked to him a little bit after the show.
Well,
or during intermission. So he might be a guest to get one of these days. we got to see our buddy Kenway from the premiere in 01.
I
And
got a real close look at
you got a
Kenway.
really good view of Kenway.
Got a really good view.
Yeah, you're for those who don't know Minders, you're still
Still in the
laying,
wheelchair.
you're still rolling around, and you
Yep.
almost got put in harm's
Traction.
way on Friday. Yeah,
I was gonna say
traction.
traction.
Slow and Hellraiser. I hadn't heard that one, but that makes sense too.
But yeah, no, I didn't almost get put into traction.
No,
That
we're being
they took very good care of me.
okay.
All I remember,
Tell everybody who Kenway was wrestling.
it was Orion, and I'm looking up his last name, Orion Creed, and
Another
I'd
Creed.
seen another Creed. I know. I'd seen Orion before, so I knew what to expect. Then you had Kenway, and we all know what to expect out of
Oh
Kenway.
yeah.
It's Kenway doing Kenway things. Come on now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And
If you haven't seen Kenway, by the way, think Brian Danielson, Zack Sabre Jr. type of wrestler,
yes, very much
both
so.
in style and in pigment.
Yes. Yes.
Very pale fellow,
and
but
stature
yes.
the whole way.
But man, what a worker.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he comes well, we'll start it off by kind of setting the scene a little bit here that
Sure.
we had actually sat at the entrance ramp and didn't realize it.
Yeah, we didn't know where the entrance was.
Yeah, we didn't know where the entrance was going to be, so they had sat me right on the entrance ramp, which I was perfectly content. I was a happy camper sitting there. But then about halfway through Kenway's match, he looks at me
About
and
there.
all he said was move.
Yeah.
And I just looked back at him and said, "How?" And about that time, here came Orion Creed flying out of the ring, and both of them kind of landed on me. But I tucked the foot behind the wheelchair. I tucked my foot under the wheelchair, so no damage to the foot.
No harm done.
No harm done.
All right. Well, that's good.
Both of those guys were really nice about everything afterwards. You know, hey, you okay? Then Kenway told me I needed to never set an entry ramp again. But
well, they need to clearly demarcate where the entrance ramp is when they do this again. But we'll know for next time.
We'll know for next time.
We'll park you next to the
Hopefully next time I'm not in a wheelchair and I can move. So
well,
there you go.
Yeah. We can hope.
But that was a good one.
I got to see Brubaker for the first time.
You did get to see Brubaker.
Kind of a squash match, but he cut a good promo.
Except for the end. The end. Huh? Don't forget about Brubaker at the end when he came back out.
Yeah, Brubaker came out. The Iron Spirit Pro Heavyweight Champion, CJ Esparza, who's not really a heavyweight, but you know,
he's Jake Lander heavyweight.
Well, that's true. But really impressed by him also.
He's very good.
I'm trying to remember who he was in the ring with. Shoot, why is it escaping me?
Why is everything gone? Hold on, I'll look up.
Because we've watched so much wrestling that everything is
running together.
Everything from Friday is already dissolved from my brain, pretty much. But no, he's good. He's a flyer, you know, smaller fellow. Wrestles in a hoodie, which is weird. But you know,
yeah.
I'm not one to judge. And after the match, he had a little interaction with Brubaker again, because Brubaker, I guess, is just looking for that heavyweight championship, which I'm told he held earlier.
Yes, Trevor Outlaw.
Trevor Outlaw. Thank you.
Yep.
AJ, gotta love that filth king. That's Brubaker. Pepperidge Farms remembers when he teamed with the Lowlifes.
Yeah,
that's kind of crossing into shootout territory, Minders. But yeah, he was a member of the Lowlifes in 01 USA.
What'd you think of Craig Mitchell?
Craig Mitchell, I like Craig Mitchell. He was good.
I like Craig Mitchell.
He was kind of getting jabs from our side of the audience a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, but he
that's
was.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to remember who he worked with.
Angel Escalera.
Okay.
Or Angel, or however he wants to pronounce that.
Right.
Who knows?
Yep.
Maybe someone can teach me how to say that stuff. And then Infamy.
DLC.
Right. And Infamy.
Infamy, I liked a lot. They were
too.
Good chemistry. You know, they had a good look. They had good movement and all that. Oh,
Apparently,
AJ.
AJ's just finding things out tonight.
Yeah, well, AJ, unlike usual, he wasn't able to join us at that show.
No,
Uh,
the
the
old
day
work
job
called
kind
at
of caught
that
up with him.
point. So,
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, he was good. It was my first time seeing Ace Perry on that show.
what'd you think of
So,
Ace Perry and Braden Lee?
I, as a team, they were good. I had some issues with that match that they had because, uh, I mean, the high spots were very fun. I forget the names of the guys they wrestled, but uh, Braden, I
815, wasn't
believe,
it?
815, the tag champs, yeah.
Yep, the tag
But
champs.
Braden Lee did a spot off of like climbed up the top of the wall and did a body press onto the floor. So there was and there's a lot of room for high spots in that city center.
There
And
is, but I'm
one of
like
the eight one
you that
five.
it got a little
Go on.
too spot festy for me. So,
A little bit, and
but I love Ace. So,
yeah, one of the 815 guys went up into the mezzanine and jumped off the balcony onto everybody.
wasn't
And
that Braden?
no, that was one of the 815 guys,
That was 815 guys. Okay.
the smaller guy. I forget his name. But
Yeah, yeah.
my only issue is that I don't know. I didn't know why the heels were doing those super cool high spots and popping the crowd because that should have been. Well, if there's going to be anybody, it very easily could have been Ace or Braden because they can do all that
Very
stuff too. But
easily. Mm-hmm.
it's like what Cornette used to tell Candido about doing the high spots when he's a heel. It's like how they don't know why to boo you if you're doing the cool stuff.
If you're doing the good stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
But well, that was Friday night.
That was Friday. I definitely wanted to go see them again. I don't know if I'll be able to make it to the Bloomington show in July, but hopefully they're back in Champaign again soon. And
Hopefully,
yeah, I'd go see. I'd go see him
I
again.
thought they
It
had a
was a lot of
great
fun.
turnout. They had a great
Yeah,
turnout there. There wasn't too many
yeah,
empty seats, and
yeah. Saw some familiar faces up there in the mezzanine. Our buddy Jason Pemberton was one of the referees.
Cat was one of the
Friend of the network,
referees.
Cat. Yeah. Then we saw a couple 01 guys up there. They weren't working; they were just hanging out. But
They were just hanging out.
it was yeah. Victor,
It was
I
a good
imagine, was
time,
there because Cat was there. But yeah,
right?
safe to
But
assume.
yeah,
Uh,
that was a lot of fun.
yeah. So that was Friday. Saturday. Should we talk about pay-per-view first or live show first?
Let's see. We have Night of Champions. Let's just go in order. So we have Night of Champions.
Okay, let's talk Night of
So it's not
Champions.
necessarily how we watched it, but it's how it
Chronologically,
went.
we're going in order.
Yeah.
So Night of Champions starts at noon, which is I like that on Saturdays when I don't have to work because you can get the shows out of the way.
Yeah.
Uh, really good turnout in Saudi Arabia for the show. No big surprise. Uh, no bad matches really, except for maybe Rhea and Natty, because it was so short.
Here's the thing.
Afternoon of Champions, AJ calls it. Well, it's Afternoon of Champions here. It's still Night of Champions in Saudi because it was nighttime.
Right. Here's my
Right.
thing about the Natty and Rhea match. I think that's what it needed to be. I really do. Like I love Natty but Natty the women's division in WWE is going in such a better direction than AEW. They've just
Oh yeah.
better performers, better workers. Rhea's
Still not quite up to Impact
goal,
standards though.
debatable. We'll see.
Well, yeah, that'd be a good debate.
But
But
that's debatable. But with Rhea, the more they show her dominance, the better it's going to be. I'm just waiting
I
for
agree
them
with
to
that.
actually find. I'm waiting for them to actually find a babyface that's going to be worth putting all the energy into to make that face more over than Rhea. And good luck with that right
Yeah,
now, because Rhea's
I'm trying to think who it would be.
there is no one.
I
There
mean,
really is no one unless it's Bianca.
right, and I think
Feel
Bianca's prime for heel time, if you
yeah.
ask me. Uh, I don't know if
Problem
it's
is, if
somebody
she
coming up
goes
from.
heel, who do we have that are baby faces though?
See, that's it. That's the catch 22. You got so
Because
many natural heels over there, but then you don't have any baby faces unless you bring up like Roxanne Perez to be the baby face.
But
Because I mean, you got Raquel
she's good.
Rodriguez, I
Don't get me
guess.
wrong. Yeah, but
Yeah,
she was
I
so
think
much
Io's
better as
about
a
to turn
heel.
babyface.
I
I
could
think
get
Io's
behind
due for a
Io,
face turn. Yeah,
but I don't think
just
Io's going to go after Rhea.
no. Well,
I
she's
would
on
much
SmackDown, so
rather
she'd go after Asuka,
Asuka. No,
which I'm
no,
all there for. Yeah,
no. Rhea would go. No, she go after Rhea. Rhea
Asuka's
has
on SmackDown.
Asuka's on
Asuka's on
SmackDown,
SmackDown
but
though.
she has the Raw belt. Raw belt. Are
You
they
know
going
they're
to ever
gonna
switch
do this.
those?
I think they've got to do the switcheroo at some point, but
They
that's
have to.
another issue for another time. But I don't know. But yeah, Io could be a babyface. I know they got Shotzi just started really getting some attention on Raw. I mean, I don't know. I kind of knew as soon as she got announced for that tag match that she was going to be the one eating the pin.
You mean
But I did
Shitzy
like the way
No
they did it
Dragon?
though. I did like the way they did it though last night with the senton into the armbar. I mean, I know
And
it's Ronda, but still.
that's fine, but who didn't call that? As soon as I
Well,
saw who
Ronda and
all was
Shayna
in the
were,
four-way, I knew
yeah.
what was happening.
Although,
I wasn't dumb.
although I kind of hoped it was going to be Chelsea and Sonya though, just for the promos.
Well, let them change.
Because
You know what? You know honestly who Chelsea and Sonya remind me of, and
who?
this will either make AJ mad or we'll see. The Iconics.
I was going to say, yeah, they give off those kind of vibes.
They give out
But
the Iconics vibes.
yeah,
So they could actually, by doing that, turn face without having to do face things.
I don't know. They're
We'll
so good at being
see.
unlikable though.
I get it. I understand.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Hey,
I
how did
get
we
it.
jump from Night of Champions to Raw, talking about the
I have
women's
no.
tag team?
I got on a
Oh, we're
rant about
talking about
Rhea.
Rhea. Yeah, we got on a
I got on a
Ricky
rant
rant.
about Rhea.
The best thing about that match was the celebration afterwards when Dominic just jumped into her arms like Mr. Peepers.
Yeah. Aw,
Oh, there you go.
I made AJ miss Billy Kay.
Yeah. Well, they're actually just altogether out of the business. They retired. I think
Yeah.
uh, I think Peyton had a baby, and I don't know what Billy Kay's doing these days. Speaking of
Well,
having a
let's
baby, by
kind
the
of.
way, congratulations to Alexa Bliss. Announced today that she is expecting now. So
Are we going to
kudos to
wait and
her. We
announce
won't
the
see her
other
for
one
a
when we
while.
get to the gate? Are we going to wait and announce the other one when we get to AEW?
We'll announce the other one when we get to the pay-per-view. Let's
Okay.
keep going on Night of Champions. I don't remember the order of the matches exactly, and I know they opened with the World Heavyweight Championship,
Let's say Seth
AJ
and
Styles and
AJ.
Seth Rollins, right? Which I guess was because they needed Seth back on a plane like post haste to get back to filming his movie. Which is
Yeah.
also, I think, why they had Becky at number 2 on the card, so they could both go. Oh, hey, I
Well,
was
but
wrong. Peyton Royce is actually taking indie bookings now. I didn't know that. So there you go.
Dave, if you're listening,
David Cavazos, if you're listening to this show, there you
please.
go. Shining Light
There you
Championship.
go. Oh, that'd be so fun. Okay.
Peyton versus Jacques. Let's make it happen.
No, scratch that. We got to get off of this.
Okay, back.
Let's back to
We're
Nigeria.
meandering again.
We are.
All right, so let's talk. So let's talk about the first match, AJ and Seth. No surprise. Technically, best match of the night.
Yes.
Uh,
Very much so.
And I know everybody was saying that match had to go on last. I would have preferred it if it was the main event just to build up the belt. But if it's not going to be last, the best place for it to be would be first.
Yep. If you ain't last, be
And
first.
you can ask. I've heard interviews with several wrestlers that say they would prefer to be first on the card than in the main event, just because they're the guys that are setting the tone for the show. And AJ and Seth did that in spades.
Yes, they
Seth looked
definitely
ridiculous,
did.
by the way.
Oh,
Seth's
okay.
leopard print poofy thing that he was wearing.
Because you guys were all talking about it because you got to watch it before I did. And y'all were
Yeah.
talking about, I was like, what was Seth wearing? Because y'all were making fun of him. And I was like, okay, I'm just waiting. I know this is going to be bad. I know this is going to be really bad. And he came out and I was like, oh, dear Lord. It's real bad. If you get a chance and you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's bad.
Let me see if I can find let me see if I can get a picture and put it up
Let's see if
there.
you can find a picture of it.
I'm gonna see if I can find
Yeah,
a
I mean,
picture.
We all kind of knew who was winning, if it was going to be Raw exclusive.
Well, yeah, but still, he AJ made it believable.
AJ, our AJ, just put up a little comment, and I know you're looking for stuff, so I'll just read it. Says he
Please
was
do.
auditioning for the live action remake of Josie and the Pussycats. He's not wrong. He's really not wrong. But yeah, it was nice to see AJ in that way though, and not having to just put somebody over. It was nice to see
Yeah,
him actually have some good offense, good defense, and they kept it in the ring mostly, and I liked that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Seth did his usual 3 topes in a row thing, but that's all good.
Yeah, but you kind of get used to that after a while, and it's just kind of nice. To me, it's refreshing to see a match that they actually keep in the ring.
Yes, I agree with that.
You know what? I might be able to find it just as fast as you can.
No, I've got it. I just have to get it on here. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking to myself because usually when I have technical shortcomings, I tend to grumble at myself for being an idiot. All right, here we go. There it
There you
is.
go.
Look at that. I don't
Well,
know
that
what
was
you
at Raw,
call that
but
kind of a sleeve,
yeah, I have
but
no idea.
this is actually a picture from Raw the night after, like Monday night, but this is the same outfit he had on.
It's the same. They were all in the same outfits. Did you notice that?
Yeah, yeah, I noticed that. Even Becky and Trish.
Yeah. Becky looked like Kill Bill or
Uh-huh.
Uma Thurman
Yeah, it was Kill
from Kill
Bill.
Bill.
Yeah, the bride, I guess technically would be the term,
Yeah.
but yeah. So the next match was Becky and
Wait.
Trish.
So okay, but did you notice that Trish, when she was in Saudi Arabia, that was zipped all the way up to the top
Oh
and
yeah, she was much more busty on Raw Monday night than she
much
was
more
in
busty.
Saudi.
Much
Yeah,
more busty.
she looked much more comfortable, shall we say? She let
Yeah.
the girls breathe a little bit.
Well, that's the thing though. Like I understand why they have to have all the cover up and everything, but it's like, okay, if you guys are actually watching, this is what I don't get. Because obviously they know who these people are.
Uh-huh.
And I doubt that they have it all in like pixelated, blurred out
You
like
never know.
video. That's true.
With the way
But
their
it's like,
government is, you never know.
yeah, that's true, I guess. Like, but you haven't
Well,
seen
remember,
it?
remember when they first started having ladies matches, they would just be wearing like a wetsuit with a t-shirt over it, like when they
Yeah.
could go out there. But now they're
Yeah.
actually kind of getting to incorporate their style into the onesies, the wetsuits.
Which is
Uh,
nice. But they
yeah, I
still
did
look
like that
super
with Ronda.
uncomfortable.
They do. I thought I think Ronda was smarter than anybody because when she went over last time, she had on her just her judo gi.
Yeah.
She was still covered, but she was comfortable.
Right, exactly. Okay, Becky and Trisha, for me,
Trish,
Trish
Trish,
was
Trisha. It's not
well,
Trisha Yearwood.
sorry. I know other Trishas. That was nah. But
That's true.
anyway,
That's true.
yeah. That in my opinion, it might have been the best women's match of the night, except for the ending. I thought Trish was really
You didn't
good.
like the schmaz.
No, that part didn't bother me. I didn't like the fact that Trish brought out Zoe Stark.
See, I didn't mind that. Number one, because it means they're actually giving Zoe something to do instead of just having her out squashing people. Number two, Zoe looked cool with the leather jacket and the jeans and
She
everything. And I love her
she looked the
finish.
most comfortable. She looked the most
Yeah,
comfortable.
because she was in her street clothes. But
Yeah.
yeah, I love her finish though. That C360 thing she does with the flip into the knee, and
Yeah.
she lit up Becky with that. She busted her nose up pretty good. It looked like.
Wonder how that went
And
backstage after that.
oh, I'm sure Becky was fine with it. Hey, that's how she got over was with a broken nose. So
That's true. Well,
uh,
what'd she do to
yeah.
Trish's chin? Because
Oh,
that
there's quite
bruise
a
on her
bruise.
holy
That was a
cow.
bruise. Yeah, Becky worked a little stiff-ski on Saturday, apparently.
A little stiff.
But yeah, it's and I'm sure there were a few viewers that were a little stiff, if you know what I mean, watching that match. But that's neither here nor there.
But
Rimshot.
yeah. But yeah, it
AJ
was
chiming in. The ladies delivered for Afternoon of Champions. Becky versus Trish and Bianca versus Asuka were both really good matches. I agree.
they were.
Uh, yeah. So,
I like Trish being a heel. I like Trish being a
oh, I
heel
love
a
Trish as a
lot.
heel.
She's so
Yeah.
good. Um, but like I said, Trish held her own for not being in the ring for a while.
You
Like
know,
in that type of
if
setting.
compared to how Lita was when she first came back, I think Trish is leaps and bounds ahead of her in the ring.
I'm gonna
But
have to
also, Trish
agree.
works smarter.
Yeah,
Trish is a smarter worker. She never doesn't do a lot of the high risk stuff. So, and she's
but
kept
she was
herself in
never
shape.
known for
She's
the high.
basically
She was never known for the high
not
risk
really
stuff.
just the handstand, head scissors, and that.
Yeah, but I don't know if
Uh,
I really consider that high risk. I
no,
mean, because you
that's
had Lita that
no.
had the Hurricane Rana, she had the
Moonsault,
moonsault,
all that stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
all that
all
stuff.
done, all done with baggy pants on.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
with the
but
thong hanging out the butt.
much to Jerry Lawler's perverted delight, and I'm sure he wasn't the only one. Uh, so yeah, I'm glad Trish got the win on that one. I imagine there's got to be a rematch at SummerSlam or something
I,
between the
I'd be
two.
okay with it if they run it till Survivor Series. Honestly,
I'd
let
be good
that
with
run
that too, but
out.
I don't think I'd be good with that, but I don't think that's how they roll in the creative WWE. Like I think they'll have Becky against Zoe at Night of Champions or Night of Champions, Money in the Bank in London,
Well, if
and
okay, I'm making my prediction now because they haven't said who all's going to be in the matches yet. Except, well, we found out some of them last night for the
right,
men's
found a
match
couple of the
anyway.
guys out. Yeah,
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 I wouldn't
Shaky
be
or
surprised if
Nakamura and
Becky.
Ricochet.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised. We're going to talk about that too a little bit later. But I wouldn't be surprised if Becky wins the women's side.
You think so?
I would not be surprised one bit. If she doesn't, I think it's going to be because Trish costs her winning it.
Okay.
If
Yeah, we
Trish
have to.
decides she wants to go international again, because they are going to be over at the O2 Arena.
Well, that's where Zoe comes into play too. Trish could send her out to screw over Becky,
Yeah,
but Zoe might be in it too. You never know.
yeah,
Maybe
we don't know.
What if Zoe wins but gives the briefcase to Trish as a
No,
thank you?
no, no. I don't want another Ellsworth finish. Come on now.
Hey, don't besmirch the good name of James Ellsworth.
I will gladly besmirch the name of James Ellsworth.
He's a handsome devil.
Uh, but yeah, so that was a really good. I was impressed. I here's the thing. There wasn't a whole lot of matches that I was super excited to see, but I was happy with where they. I was glad when they happened. Does that make sense?
I do. That does make sense because I agree. A good example of that would be one intercontinental title match with Gunther and Mustafa Ali
Right?
because everybody knew what was going to happen. Everybody knew Gunther was winning that match, but man, they made Ali look good.
They did, and I was glad for that because he's Chicago boy.
Yeah,
He's a Chicago boy.
know him from I know him from IWA Mid South.
Well, and he he was so bad. Um, but I mean, we know some of the guys that he actually trains with that actually do
Yeah,
go to the 01. So it's
yeah,
like I was glad to see that Ali wasn't made to look like a schmuck.
jobber. Right.
Yeah. Hey, I wasn't gonna
Yeah.
say that. I know how you feel about that word, so I'll just
Yeah,
call him
yeah.
a schmuck.
Okay, schmuck is a good word.
Schmuck.
Yeah, that's a good language to use when you're in Saudi Arabia. Use Hebrew. That goes over well. Yep. There,
Yep.
AJ. That's what you're thinking. Save engage.
And, yep. Save engage. But and that match was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. In all honesty, so
Oh yeah. Oh man, we knew Gunther was gonna win, but they gave Ali some really convincing looking hope spots in that match.
They did. And you know what? That just proves how good Gunther is, in all
Oh
honesty.
yeah, he's so good.
He's so good. So good.
Yeah,
But yeah, we knew Gunther was going to retain. That didn't surprise me one bit.
yeah. Let's see what else was on. They didn't have a whole lot of matches on the card. Let's talk about the Raw Women's title match, Bianca and Asuka. I loved the finish of that one.
I did too.
Uh,
And I
it,
usually hate those
she's
type of finishes, but it seemed fitting. It worked. It was
it
meant
was
to be.
creative. Yeah,
Yes.
because they've been teasing that miss for weeks, but we'd never seen her do that where she blows it onto her hand and goes to the eyes, and
Yeah.
that was very creatively done. That might have been a. I think Corey even mentioned that might have been a Muda trick. I don't remember exactly,
I think he
but
did say something about it being a Muda trick. I mean, hey, if it works, it works. But
that's right. That's right.
the only
Uh,
problem is, I mean, I know Bianca is the face in all of this, but I still like Asuka so much.
yeah,
Even when she is a heel, she's so good.
yeah. And the
She's
fans
really
were
good.
behind Asuka more than Bianca on Saturday too.
What's going on with that? This is the second premium show now that the
Yeah,
fans haven't
because they.
quite been behind Bianca.
I don't know. Is the act getting old? Maybe it's time for a tweak, a tune up.
Maybe? I don't know, but right now
I like.
Bianca's the hottest baby face you've got.
Yeah, I know, but uh, I don't know. They don't have to necessarily have to turn her baby face. I think they just need to give her a little edge, maybe tweak her character a little bit.
Cut
I'm
her hair.
I'm kind of over
Cut
the
her
I'm kind of
hair.
over I'm more than that. I'm over the skipping. She does a lot of skipping, and
Yeah.
that's a little much. If they could find a way to take NXT Bianca and work that into a baby face, that would be perfect because that was when she was super sassy and didn't give a
Hmm.
fuck.
She's so worried about what everybody thinks about her now that it irritates me.
Right. And I'm worried that's something that was like ingrained in her by maybe Vince or Stephanie when she came up. Like you need to worry about the
Possibly.
fans, and because Triple H I don't think would have messed with it because he booked her in NXT, so he knew.
Right.
But I digress. So yeah, after over a year, well, yeah,
Yeah.
since
It's over a year.
WrestleMania last year,
WrestleMania
and
last year.
So Bianca dropped the strap to Asuka, so Bianca
It's
doesn't
not
have to
over
worry
yet.
about having. Oh no, but I think
Yeah.
Asuka's going to hold it for a bit. I, if Bianca's going to be the baby face in this, she needs to chase,
Yes.
which I've always been a big proponent of, is the chase for the baby faces. And
Yeah.
so we'll see where they go with that. Plus, you never know who's going to go after Asuka because, like we said, I think uh, Bianca's the only baby face that they have right now, really, on SmackDown.
Well, yeah, because if you think about it, because your baby faces were Liv Morgan,
Right? She's
and
hurt.
she's out. She's hurt. Alexa
Right?
Bliss, well,
She's
she's
pregnant,
out
so
now.
she won't be around.
She's
Right?
preggers. I mean, I'm even trying to
Charlotte,
think.
but she's taking time off.
Yeah, but Charlotte's.
I know she's better
Do
as
we
a heel,
really?
but she's been working babyface
Yeah,
lately.
but who else is there? Oh, I mean, you got Indy Hartwell,
You got
but
yeah, you
she's
got
so
Indy, you got
green
Natty,
still.
yeah, Candy LaRue or Candice LeRae. Damn it, corny. Uh,
Candy, same face. Yeah, got it. Sorry.
so they got to build some people up, and
They do. But the
that's the
problem
thing. They
is,
got
are the crowds taking to the baby faces the way they used to? That's the bigger question.
yeah.
Because I feel like anymore, if you're a heel, people relate to you more. You're doing the
Mm-hmm.
things they would like to do.
Mm-hmm. Like
It's
we
that
could
whole
talk about Bully Ray putting Scott D'Amore through a flaming table on Friday.
Oh,
But
didn't
that's
know
neither
that
here nor
happened.
there.
All right.
Uh-huh.
But it's just like I don't know. I have a hard time with the faces anymore. I don't know.
Well,
And
you
I
love
think it's just
heels.
because I do. There's times I love the faces. I can admit there's times I love the faces,
Hmm.
but I don't know. I get, like I said, I think it's more of the heels are doing things that I wish I could do and get away with. And I think that's where a lot of my I love for heels comes in. You don't like a person, punch them in the face. It'll be fine. Nobody cares.
Right.
That's what you're supposed to
Yeah.
do.
But they set a precedent because in wrestling you can punch your boss in the face and not get fired. If you do it in real life, you're gonna
You're
be out
getting
on your
fired.
ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fill up your
Well,
boss's Corvette with cement. You're getting fired.
you're getting fired. You do it on a wrestling show, you're perfectly fine. You blow up his limo, you're fine.
Hit him with a
Wouldn't
bedpan.
suggest
We could go through everything that Austin ever did to that poor man.
right?
And
Poor man.
I
No.
know what I said when I said it. It's anyway. Moving on. Let's see what else is.
Cody
Are
and
we up
Brock.
at the main event? Cody and
Nope.
Brock. Okay.
Cody and Brock.
Okay. I liked this match.
I did too. I really
Uh,
did.
they told a good story. Cody with the cast, and there was a point made by Bully Ray on Busted Open that everybody was talking about. Oh, how is he going to work with a broken arm? He's going to have to take more time off for a fake injury. Like you can work with a broken forearm. Bob Orton did it.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Exactly. I was like, broken arm, sweet. That means he has a cast to use against Brock. That was my first thought.
and I like that Corey made a big point to make sure that we knew that it was a titanium cast. So
Yes.
you knew when he was hitting Brock with that, it was going to do some damage.
Yeah.
And and he did. It was good. He made Brock chase him a little bit, but then finally when Brock caught him, it was curtains.
Yeah.
Uh, and I also like the fact that they didn't have Cody tap out; they had him pass out,
Right. Because
which
that
which
means, in
means
my
that
opinion, he didn't quit. He
no,
didn't quit.
no, and
His
he
body
said
gave
that on
out.
Monday.
Yep.
Yeah, he said Brock wasn't man enough to make him tap out, which is that's fighting words with old
Those
Brock,
are fighting
But
words, especially with Brock. You think we're
now I
going to
don't
get
know
our
if
fight
Brock.
pit match?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if Brock wants to go to England, so that might wait till SummerSlam.
Yeah, it might wait till some, or it depends. It is about time for Brock to take a 6 months off. So it could be Survivor
But he did
Series.
SummerSlam last year. He did SummerSlam last year though.
Yeah, he did. And that's
So
what, end of
maybe
July?
Cody wins. SummerSlam's in
Maybe.
August. I think early August this year. But
Is it
yeah, they
early
could
August?
have
I thought it
Cody
was
get.
late July this year.
I'm not
I'll look.
sure exactly,
You talk,
but they
I'll
could have it
look.
where Cody. Yeah, but have Cody get his win back on Brock, win the feud, then Brock can go take his time off, and then Cody can move on to whatever's next. Hopefully, not the World Heavyweight Championship. Uh, you never know.
You can't do that yet. Seth is too much. August 5th. Um,
August. Okay.
Seth is he's over right now. You can't have another babyface chasing after him.
No, they'll have to be a heel first, and I think it's going. I think it needs to be a newly healed Drew McIntyre
Okay, I'm all right with that. I had somebody
because
else in
he
mind.
wasn't.
I had somebody else in
They
mind.
did the heel turn can come because he wasn't put in the tournament.
Yeah.
You can say, yeah, I was a champion and I'm not in the tournament. Yeah, matey, like whatever
Yeah.
however he talks. I don't know,
However he talks.
but
His Scottish accent.
so who were you thinking?
I actually was thinking about
Don't say
Damien.
Brock.
Damien.
Ooh, you know what? I like Damien. He has everything that they look for in a world champion.
He does.
To be honest, he got the look, he's got the rap, he's got the move, he's got the athleticism, he's got everything.
Yeah.
And he's kind of stepping up in Judgment Day, he's doing most of the talking these days.
You know what? In all
Uh,
actuality, I look at Damien as the leader of Judgment Day. And I
oh, he's
have,
the,
even when everything started, at like right after when they all kicked Edge
when they kicked
out,
out Edge.
when they kicked out
Well, he's the
Edge.
senior member. He's the longest tenured member of the Judgment Day, so he should be the leader.
But he's the one that. No offense to Finn, because I know how good Finn is.
Hmm.
But Damien looks like a champ.
Yeah.
Damien looks like a champion. Oh, that would be fun. Did you see what AJ said?
I do. I don't know this. Talk about Priest, I
Oh,
assume. Punishment Martinez at the time. Him and
yeah.
Wardlow had a hell of a match somewhere. I don't remember on the Indies. Look it up on YouTube. It was pretty damn good. Well, I may have to do that. We'll talk about Wardlow a little bit later on, but
Jeez.
and his hungry mentor.
His very hungry mentor.
Oh,
Jeez.
that was
Anyway,
weird. But again, we'll
sticking
get
to
into that later.
WWE. Sticking to WWE.
Okay.
I'm going to try to
All right.
keep
So
you
let's
on a
talk.
path.
Please do. Sometimes I need the help.
As long as you keep me on the path, we'll be all right.
Yeah. This is where we miss having Gary
Yeah.
because he's on a schedule. Uh, so let's talk about the main event. Uh, Bloodline versus KO and Sammy. Uh, really good. I loved. I mean, and I'm sure I'm not the only one there, but I love the finish. I loved how the every time I think I'm starting to like tire of the Bloodline, they do something that draws me back in.
Yeah. I
And
was
so
surprised it was Jimmy and not Jay.
I'm not because that is a deep callback. Because remember when Jimmy joined the Bloodline, he made it very clear he was nobody's bitch. He wasn't gonna
Yeah.
kowtow to Roman. It kind of went
Hopefully
away
we get
for a
that
while.
shirt back. Let's get
Oh,
that
I
shirt
know.
back.
I love that shirt. But but yeah, it seems like that's been simmering for not just since Roman started really getting on their case after WrestleMania, but you could you could tell that story that was the plan all along for the Usos.
Hmm.
Because remember, Jay joined because he got forced to say I quit by Roman. He
Right.
didn't.
Yep.
So why not say, hey, okay, we were with you for over a year. We were just biding our time, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the question is, do they bring Solo with them, or does Solo stay with Roman?
I think Solo's staying with Roman. I think that's going to be the third installment. Is
Is when
Solo.
Solo, yeah.
Is when Solo. I think that's going to be the third installment of the Bloodline. About the time you get sick of the Bloodline again, that's when something. That's when Solo will switch. But
There
but
was
who
an
goes
interesting.
after? Who's go? Okay, so obviously Jimmy's going after Roman now, which is fine.
I'm good with it because we haven't had
I'm
that match yet.
fine. Yeah, but then I don't know. I'm just I I'm worried about where the Money in the Bank briefcase is going to fall into all this storytelling between now and next WrestleMania.
I'll tell you where I hope it goes to is I hope it goes with Mr. LA Knight. I think he's the guy.
One can only hope, especially since I took out the one I really wanted to have that Money in the Bank out Monday night.
Uh, Bronson Reed.
Yes, I was so
Yes.
mad. I was so
I mean,
mad.
I like Shaky, but it's
You like
I'm
Shaky?
Nakamura for those who don't listen to Corny's podcast. You love that I'm falling into these
I do.
traps
I
for.
love it. I love all of it. But yeah, when I saw he was going up against Nakamura, or yeah, Shaky, um,
But they got
I
to
was
build up
like,
Shaky again. Or
they do.
Nakamura.
They
Damn.
they really do because when he was in NXT, red
Oh yeah.
hot, and then buried as soon as he got to the main roster. Thank you, Vince. But
Although he did win the Rumble though.
what good did that do him?
He got a match with AJ on pay per view. But well, several matches with AJ on pay per view.
Yeah. Oh, AJ. I love AJ. These ungrateful Usos biting the hand
He
that feeds them. The tribal chief will put them in their place, and then he will surpass
he
Bruno
is
Sammartino's title run.
he is not
He's,
surpassing Bruno's. He is not holding the belt for 8 years.
you know what?
AJ.
We're gonna have to eat our words though if he does.
Yeah.
I know it's terrible to think about, but we're gonna have to eat our words if he does, and AJ will be able to come back and say, "See, I told you so."
I'll take you to a new shirt.
I can always think of a couple
I
shirts
was
that AJ's came up with.
I was looking on Twitter. I couldn't find it, but Jacob Fatu tweeted out a picture of him with Solo and the Usos a few days ago with the like the blood drop emoji on it, which kind of gets you
Oh,
thinking. I don't know what his deal is with MLW, but I told you if they brought Jacob in to be a tag team with Solo
oh my
with
gosh!
Roman, like the
I
new
just got
bloodline.
goosebumps. I seriously just got goosebumps thinking about that. Man, could you imagine though the power that the bloodline would have then? Solo and Fatu and Roman.
Yeah, yeah, that's man. You don't think Triple H wouldn't rule the idea of having Jacob Fatu on his roster?
Oh, I'm sure he is.
I'm
I
telling you, that's why he was my first pick in the fantasy draft, Menders.
I
He's
know you took him away from me. I know.
he's the best guy to have like on the like. And I'm not saying MLW is an indie, but he does still work indies. I think he's the best talent on the indie scene right now that's not signed to a major company. Again,
Yeah.
no disrespect to MLW, but as far as
No.
like
Yeah.
WWE, AEW is what I'm talking. But
Right. When you're talking the big, well, I used to say 4, now I guess I can only say 3, but
well, yeah,
because I mean, when I think
because
main ones, I think, Impact, WWE, and AEW, and then
right,
ROH was my other one, but then
right now they're a subsidiary of AEW
yeah.
under our favorite crazy visionary,
Yeah. Yeah, that
that
guy.
guy. That's the face of a calm, collected, and civilized boss, is it not?
Non-drug doing.
Now, wait, we didn't say he does drugs. We cannot say that. We don't want to get
I
sued.
said non-drug doing.
Yeah,
I
but you
didn't
had a
say.
tone. You had a
No,
tone.
I was not the word that I didn't mean it.
Now, I can say he looks like a bug-eyed dork because,
He
I mean,
does.
look at him.
He needs glasses or something for those
Yeah,
eyes. Those are
he's
creepy.
both bug-eyed and cross-eyed, which is really hard to do.
AJ.
Herb
Oh,
Abrams'
AJ.
spiritual successor. Oh, Herb Abrams. Oh, talk about going down in flames. You got to talk about the notorious Herb Abrams of Global.
No kidding.
Oh,
But let's
like,
not talk about him tonight. We need to move on to our next.
okay, so Night of Champions we're done with. So let's talk about Hybrid Championship Wrestling, Menders, because that's where we went Saturday night with our ragtag group of
Misfits.
chums. Yeah, all in your mom's minivan, like we were the best friends.
Right? Except we didn't have mom driving. It was
That's true. That was
Hey,
my
but
first.
it was a nice comfy little ride, so I'm
It
not
was a good
complaining.
ride. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was comfy. Uh, I may or may not have stolen your wheelchair at one point.
Do you
Uh,
have that picture handy?
let me see. I
If you
may.
don't, I do.
Let me. Well, keep talking, Menders, while I look here.
Well, it's right
Oh, there it
there.
is. Okay, there you see it. There you see.
See?
I'm in the chair. Bari's pushing me, and Menders. I think you're playing it up a little because you were doing fine on the crutches. Let's be honest.
I can do fine with crutches when I have to. The chair is just more comfortable.
It is a comfortable chair. I'll say that. Oh, Bari played the role of mom.
He
Our our
did.
buddy
Yep, he
our
did.
buddy Jabari Sinclair in the chat, my co-host on Gold Rush on the JTR Podcast Network on YouTube, and yeah. So let's talk about hybrid. My first hybrid show in Terre Haute. I know you guys have been to a few of them. Uh,
I love hybrid.
we
I
got to
love
see
hybrid.
we got to see some familiar faces. We got to see our buddy the Cobra
We
in his
did.
match. Yeah, he did what we hoped he would, which was knock the hell out of people.
Yes.
I'll just say out
Took
of
some
people. I
heads
won't.
off.
Right.
Took some heads off.
Yeah. Jeffrey John's Babushka was there. I'm sorry.
Babushka
Is it
walked away with the.
the Babushka the Babushka Baron? Is that his official nickname?
I think so. That
I
sounds
think so.
right.
I don't want to give him disrespect because I think he wants to come on the podcast. So we'll
Sweet.
be nice.
I love
And
that we're getting all these indie guys that want to be on because
that's what we did when we first started
there's
doing interviews. We got indie
yeah
people on, and you never know. Maybe that'll help us get
some more
some
views.
rub. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake something was on there. We'd seen Jake about a month ago at the Square Circle Expo, but
Yep.
he had a good match with Ace Perry, the aforementioned Black Diamond Ace Perry.
I, I love Ace. I just love Ace. And you got to see Garrison Creed for the first time.
I did, and I got his T-shirt
I see that.
afterwards.
After he
Uh,
yelled at me and you still bought his t-shirt. He told me
well,
to
I mean,
sit down and shut up, and I kind of
well,
looked at him like he was stupid.
you you and AJ were both causing trouble on that during that
We
show.
were not causing trouble. Hey, I was only yelling things that the 5-year-old at our table was trying to tell me to yell. So
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'm
Lincoln, he's a bad
innocent.
influence.
Lincoln is a bad influence. I love
He's a
that kid. He's so fun.
he was such a good kid by comparison to the other kids there.
Right? Well, he
He
wasn't. He wasn't even a. He was a good kid compared to most kids I know.
That's very true. Except for when he chopped Rohit Roju
Oh
unprovoked.
no, that was perfectly fine. And that's so. It so made his night too. He was
Oh,
so
I'm sure.
excited.
Oh yeah, yeah. Rohit might have been my favorite performer on that show on Saturday. I've seen him a few times in Black Label Pro shows. He's so good. He was good on Impact when he was there.
Hmm.
But yeah, he's not a big guy, but he's a hell of a worker.
Yeah, he is.
The Desi
He is very
Hitman,
good.
Rohit Roju.
Uh,
Let's see, what else did we see? We saw the set, which was I'm fuzzy on
Kendall
names.
Fire and Haven Harris.
Okay, and they
That was
lost
the
their
tag team. They
championship.
lost their tag team championship to Devin Quinn and the other guy, uh, Javon. Javon, that's his name. Oh,
Javon is his name.
I've already been stirring the pot with those two on their Facebook pages. So
Uh huh.
you
Well,
don't
you
call me the
were.
ladle for nothing. So
That's true. Don't forget our Hybrid Championship Wrestling champion Aaron Atlas was there.
there you go, Jay Silva. Thank you, Bari. I knew it
Ah,
was
that's
something
good.
like that.
It's good when we got our team with us on the
Yeah,
chat to help us find some of these answers here.
yeah. Aaron
Uh,
Atlas went against Simon Gotch. Hey, I was proud of Aaron because he held his own in that.
yeah, he really did. Simon's a hell of a technical wrestler.
He is, and that was a really good match.
Yeah.
We're missing a couple other matches. What else are we missing?
Let's see
Oh,
here.
Sam Knight.
Oh yes, Sam Knight.
It was in
Uh,
Garrison Creed.
he did Garrison Creed. Yeah.
I I was so waiting for UDL Haas fight when when they all came out.
I was actually away from the table when they first came out. I would think I was at the concession stand getting me a foot
Ah,
beat.
getting you a foot beat.
Yep. But if I was there, I would have done it.
Yeah. Oh, the ladder match. Well, we talked about Babushka going over with the ladder
Babushka,
match. Oh, but
Dale
that
Patrick
fall that
was the
Dale
other one.
Patrick's took.
Oh man, that was
Oh,
bad.
oh, it
That
was
was
bad.
cringy.
I even saw him afterwards, and I was like, "Okay, do you remember everything?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm okay." I'm like, "Okay." I was a little concerned.
Yeah, it's I know he's known for taking the goofy bumps sometimes, but yeah, it doesn't make it any less nerve wracking.
It does. I don't care how many. I don't care how many times people fall off ladders or jump off of second floor mezzanine barricades. Every time there's moves like that, I just tense up and get nervous
Yeah,
for obvious reasons.
yeah, you never know when things can go wrong, but thankfully they didn't do it that night there. So, uh, what are we what are we forgetting, Menders? Because I know we're forgetting
Oh,
something.
Well, we didn't talk about Matt Brannigan, but
Oh no, Matt Brannigan, yeah,
he was the one that fought Rohit.
right. And then Gaston Leroux
Uh,
against
uh,
Dalton Davis was the other
yeah,
match.
yeah, yeah. I can't stand Gaston. I'm sorry. I don't like Gaston. He see, and it's weird because over there, I like most of the faces, but I like giving the heels a hard time more than I like the faces sometimes. But it is what it is. What are you trying to figure out?
I was looking because we got some pictures from the hybrid show, and I can't find them in the messenger because we got a picture where you stole Aaron Atlas's championship belt and took pictures with it.
Oh, I can get that one real quick. Hold on. I've
Okay,
got that one right here, actually.
yeah.
You see, I stole it.
Oh yeah. I don't know why you would do that, but you know, as a belt aficionado and member of the belt media, you know, it's I took a special interest in the belts that were there that night, and they were all pretty cool looking. The hybrid belt is a dead ringer for the United States Championship, as you see there
There's
in
Brandon.
plate.
Hey, you have my now. You have my crutches.
Yep, I'm holding your crutches there.
Let me see.
Let's
What
see.
other ones did I have? Man, I thought I had. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I got my picture. Oh, here they come. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's my picture with Kendall and Haven.
Right,
Oh, you and Jake something.
right. Cool guy, big guy.
Well, hold on. I got to get that one turned the right way. And then our motley crew of misfits.
Yes. Look at that. Got me and the wife in the background, and you and your boys in the front ground.
Well, AJ was taking the picture, so
Right. It was selfie time, as they say.
yes,
But
twist
that was
selfie
before.
time.
Cool setup though, being having a table instead of just being sitting in the chairs.
I like that because I could hide my crutches under the table and I didn't trip anybody.
Yeah. Plus, you kept trying to goad wrestlers into slamming their opponents' heads into the table.
Sure did. Hey, that
Uh huh.
cost AJ a beer though.
That's true. But he got a free shirt out of it though,
He did get a free shirt out of it.
so that worked out. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. The
The
daddy
little
sodas, as
5-year-old that
David
was
Rucka calls them, were flowing.
well, and the little 5-year-old that was sitting with us too, and his dad, some friends of mine. But it, the 5-year-old was calling all the matches. It was kind of crazy because I think he only messed up one.
Oh yeah.
I really think he did. But
Didn't you
there were a
say he
lot of
booked? Didn't you say he booked a show with his action figures last night and was
he did.
sending?
He sure did. But that's neither
Yeah.
here nor there.
Right. But that was a fun show. That's another one I'd go back to at some point. Love the venue. AJ mentioned that in the comments that the venue was really cool there.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the place where GCW had their war games last year when I went, or the year before last. It was like a big multi-purpose sports facility. But no, it was cool. I'm sure the boys didn't mind bumping on AstroTurf on the on the floors instead of concrete.
That's true. We all got signed posters
Yeah,
from
I've got
everybody there.
mine. I got mine on my TV stand under the TV. I haven't figured out what I want to do with it yet.
Yep. So that was hybrid.
AJ, tomorrow
Yeah.
isn't promised. Yell at that heel till he gives you free merch today. That doesn't always work, AJ.
But well, that was
All right,
hybrid.
that was
We
hybrid.
can
Okay,
we can move on now.
we can move on. Okay, did you watch NXT
I did.
Battleground?
I did.
Okay, and what did you think?
There were some really good matches.
Mm-hmm.
There were some that I was like, "Mm, yeah, okay," but
Mm-hmm.
that's what I usually expect from NXT. So
Did one of them rhyme with Shmoo Shmay Meritage Mup?
Could have
Never,
possibly,
never
could have
been a big fan
possibly.
of Noam Dar. I like Dragon Lee though.
Here's the thing, I'm a huge fan of Nathan Frazier. That was in Dragon
Uh
Lee's
huh.
corner.
Right.
Huge fan. Um, well, I've seen Nathan. I saw Nathan Frazier back when he was doing New Wave Pro shows,
Hmm.
and gosh, he's. I wish they would find somewhere to put him because he's so good. He really is so good.
Hmm.
So I'm hoping maybe now, maybe they can trade off now. Maybe we'll get another Noam. I don't know. That
Well,
one just kind of.
Frazier had a match with Wesley for the North American title not too long ago, didn't he?
Yeah, but it's been a couple
It's been a while.
months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but he's really good. Uh, One of those guys when he does a dive, you don't worry that he's gonna miss or you know make it look bad. Uh, but yeah, he's I'm a fan of Nathan Frazier. I want to see more of him definitely.
Mhm.
I will say this: my favorite match of the entire weekend happened on Battleground.
I'm gonna guess Iliad and Dijak.
Ilya and Dijak, indeed. Last man standing. And why I liked it more than most last man standing matches is because it looked like they both legitimately wanted to kill each other.
Oh yeah, through the whole thing
Uh-huh. Yeah.
from the
It's
start, they did not give up throughout the whole. The only thing that kind of worries me a little bit, Dijak is so good, and he's
very good.
somebody they could bring up, but he doesn't have anybody to work with right now,
No, 'cause the guy he worked the best with is in AEW now, and that's Keith Lee.
and he's not near as good as he used to. Never mind.
No,
Um,
he's his own father now.
yeah, but and I will say this, and I'm going to take a wild guess that Bari and AJ will be surprised that I say this because there was a match, the first match that went on for the North American Championship.
Oh yes, yes. Wesley, Tyler Bate, and Joe Gacy.
I didn't hate Wesley.
Really?
I didn't.
No,
I
I didn't
felt
know that.
I had a strong hatred for Wesley.
He's such a nice fellow.
I nothing against I had a problem with his wrestling style. I'll put it that way.
Uh,
Used to, and I know he's been working with some people, so and I'm starting to see the difference
mhm.
that a lot of the things he used to do, even when he was with the tag team or whatever,
With the Rascals.
with the Rascals, but he did so much flippy stuff that looked out of control. Like he
Hmm.
didn't have an idea of where he was landing or anything like that.
Hmm.
So that match was the first one I'd seen of him that I actually anytime he went to the air, I did not worry about the person that was catching him, or I won't say catching him, but who he was quote unquote attacking.
Right.
You know, it felt more in control. And I'll even talk about that with Ricochet later too, because there was something
Hmm.
Ricochet did last night that I was impressed with. And it's not that I don't want them to do the big spots. Like I get the big spots, I understand that.
But
But when
be
you put too
responsible
much
about it.
into it, yeah, be responsible about it. Don't. And when they go all haywire, then it makes me nervous because you don't want to hurt your opponent and blah 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 blah
Right.
blah. And but it was nice that they had and Tyler Bate though.
Man, I'm
He's
such a fan
so
of
good.
Tyler Bate.
He's so good.
He's he could be the most underrated wrestler in NXT.
He didn't used to be when they
No,
had NXT UK.
UK. He was the guy.
God, he was
He
so
was like,
good.
what was he, 19 when he won that UK title?
Yeah,
So yeah, he's still 20, maybe 25 tops right
I'll
now.
say, yeah, I think so.
So he's got a lot of career left ahead of him, and he's so good at everything.
And he's another one that's calculating and doesn't do stupid stuff. But
Hmm.
he does, like, on the occasion, he might do something a little iffy, but he only does it for, he does it, it means something. It's not just
Yes.
something else that he does.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm a big Tyler Bate. Joe Gacy, I've seen a lot of him on the Indies before when he was Chainsaw in CZW, but he's completely different now, the way he's
Yeah.
working. He's got that, his character is very creepy, which he's making work. Uh,
Yes.
but he's working so much smarter now than he used to on the indies. And I think it goes to the coaches that they've got. They're teaching these
Yeah.
guys to break some of these bad habits they had when they were coming up. And I know
I'd
people
say
say, oh, they're
since some
just
of the
teaching
coach.
them.
Go ahead.
It's like they're teaching them the WWE styles, what the critics will say, but
Hmm.
they're breaking them of these bad habits that cause them to get hurt and miss 6 months to a year.
AEW.
And oh, I'm sorry. Oh, bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now, don't do that too often because otherwise you might look like this.
Uh,
If you didn't
but
get that,
yeah.
if you didn't get that, I meant you might.
Wow, his eyes are starting to match what that guy does. That's kind of crazy.
That guy, that is Captain Kirk, lady.
That guy.
Yeah,
I know
AJ,
who
yeah,
it is.
AJ is with me. This was back today when I first saw him on NXT. I was like, what the fuck is this? The same Joe Gacy? Joe Gacy, if you didn't know Menders, was 1/3 of the Switchblade conspiracy in the CZW, and his partners were one Sammy Callahan and John Plummer Moxley.
Wow. I'm so impressed.
And now they're all hitting the big time.
I can't say much because I did like Moxley at one point. I really did like Moxley.
I don't hate Moxley. It's just the blood. You know, he's bleeding
Yeah,
too much.
it's. Oh, I saved that picture too. I'll have to pull that one up that we have it ready for later. Yeah, that one and then the tag match, Gallus. My boys, my Gallus
I like
boys.
Gals. I love Gals. I wish they
But
had a
you know,
T-shirt.
the Creed brothers are good though too. They're so good. They're good too.
I think one of these days, if they ever decide to split them up or something happens, I think Julius Creed is going to be a big star.
Yes,
The
very
skinnier
much
one,
so.
for those that don't know
Yes,
the two from each other. That like repeating belly to belly nip up sequence he did was very impressive.
very, very impressive.
AJ, I do like that Sammy Callahan. He's so good at being an evil bastard. He's literally like if a gremlin was a wrestler.
Basically,
Uh, he had a match also on Friday at the Impact pay-per-view. Jake Christ came back. I think it was Jake. Jake Christ, I think is the one that came back
that
on
sounds
Friday.
right.
It was either him or Dave, but I think Dave was the one that got canceled.
Uh,
Uh,
I say Jake's the one I usually hear about, even through the indie scene that I usually see on a lot of posters.
yeah, and
So
then teamed up with Rich Swann for
yeah.
trios match there. So,
Hmm.
but we didn't. I know you didn't watch Impact, so we're not going to get too deep into that. Suffice to say,
Well,
Steve
are we going to
Macklin is.
finish NXT first, or
We probably should. Let's finish NXT.
and then you can do
Let's.
Impact,
Uh,
and then we can have a
I won't
heyday with
go.
the AEW show.
I'm not going to go too deep into Impact, but let's go back to NXT here. So we got the finals of the tournament for the new women's champion, Tiffany Stratton and Lyra Valkyria, and it seems like they're strapping the rocket to Tiffany.
Yeah,
I did not like her when she first came up, but I've seen a lot of improvement with her
you
and
know
her
who she
work.
reminds me of, and I said this
Who's
to the
that?
boys, and I don't know if I put it in our chat or not. She reminds me of Mandy Rose.
Really?
She does. Just the
Well, she
look,
does
the
have
attitude.
she does have the shiny boots like Mandy used to have.
Yeah, well, it's not just that. It's just I don't know. She just reminds me of Mandy Rose, and I'm just like, man. Well, I guess if you can't have Mandy Rose, then next best thing, I guess.
Right. It's like if you can't have Jimmy Carrot, you get B.A. Malkin.
Sorry, sorry.
Easy.
That's tomorrow night. That's tomorrow night, Red.
Yeah, that's 0-1 business. I gotta watch myself. I thought really good match between Tiffany and Lyra. Good
She,
psychology with selling the leg in that during the
yes,
match.
I was very impressed with how well she sold that leg the entire
Hmm.
time.
Yeah,
I was
and
like,
then Tiffany busting out the Christopher Daniels best moonsault ever for the finish.
yep,
Uh,
that one was good. Let's see,
when she
was that?
first came up, and she did that, it was always very sloppy, and she always landed on people's legs or overshot, whatever. She's starting to get that move down now, where it
Yeah,
looked almost perfect on Sunday.
yeah. That. Let's see. Other than the main event, were there any other matches? Did we miss
Uh,
anything?
Let me think.
I don't think so. What did you think? Okay, what did you think of the little vignette with Chase U?
Yeah, I'm kind of over Chase U. I like Duke Hudson,
I like
but
Duke. I
I don't
hate the
like
fact that
Chase U.
I hate the fact that he's tied with Chase U.
I
I
even like
love
Harlem
Duke.
Bravado, Andre Chase from he used to be in Ring of Honor with his brother as a tag team, but now he's doing this professor stuff, and it's just not clicking with me.
No. And then Drew Gulak showed up.
With Regal's son, who I was surprised doesn't have a British accent.
Right?
Regal must have married an American lady, and well, the kid was probably raised in the States, so
Yeah, true. Oh, AJ had another comment if you want to throw
yeah.
it up.
Let's see. He didn't do it during that specific tag match. That suplex Julius Creed does, where he catches him out of the air and goes down to a knee. Oh yeah, he does crazy feats of strength, which I saw a video of like them training where they were just like passing like 200-pound dumbbells back and forth. It was ridiculous. Let's see. What were we saying? Oh, yeah, just Chase U. I'm kind of over. I mean,
Yeah.
the little blonde girl can go away. I'm not a fan of her.
She's annoying.
She really is.
She's annoying.
Oh, you ought to hear Stacy talk when she goes on. She's like, I don't. She's like, I don't like her.
I feel like
And
Stacy and I have a lot of the same thoughts when it comes to some of the women wrestlers, so
probably,
we're
probably.
good.
So I guess we should talk about the main event. Uh, Braun
Okay, I'm gonna be
Breaker.
honest. I haven't been keeping up on NXT, so
Uh-huh.
I didn't know until I was watching some of the vignettes that Braun had went heel.
Heel. Oh,
Yes,
he's doing a hell of a
he's
job as a
so
heel.
good, so good. Uh, I'm
I'm hearing. I heard that's actually why he didn't get drafted. They wanted to try him as a heel to see how he does before they bring him up. So I
I'm
gotta
good.
think there's a
I'm good
call
if
up
that's
coming.
the real reason. I'm good if that's the real reason.
Yeah, I don't think they would hold his dad's idiocies against him. Really,
One would hope not.
one would hope not. But no, I heard him and the Creeds were in consideration to get called up soon. So that might be why they both
That
did the
might be
favors
SummerSlam or
on Sunday.
Survivor Series.
I'm thinking sooner than Survivor Series. So if not SummerSlam, like maybe afterwards, like the
Yeah,
night after. Uh, but now since the
I'd be
belt,
okay with
where do
it.
you put him? Yeah,
I, here's the
good match.
thing. Depending on if Theory still has the U.S. Championship, let let Breaker chase after Theory.
I kind of want to see him chase Gunther.
Ooh,
House fight.
ooh, it's a big house fight.
Give me an H. Give me an O. Give me an S. Give me an S. Give me a fight.
um, but I've heard rumors that Tommaso Ciampa was at Raw last night too.
I heard that also.
I
It
heard that.
sounds like they might be putting the band back together. Him and Gargano.
No, 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 no. I love DIY, but no. I feel like
They need to beef up that tag team division, Menders. It's
I get it, but
and both those guys were. I mean, I love Ciampa. He's one of my favorites. But within their time in WWE, they have not been better than they were as a tag team.
no. Although,
I did like Ciampa's title run, the first title run
yes,
with Goldie.
yes, Goldie, Daddy's home.
I really liked his match with Walter actually a couple of years ago.
I I
AJ,
would.
leave Thea Hale alone. She's just a nice young lady that got roped into a stupid faction. She seems like a fine, upstanding. I'm sure she's a nice girl. I have no
Yeah,
problem with
but
her
you guys
personally.
also think
Just
B.A. Malkin's a fine, upstanding citizen, and
what has he done wrong? No, wait, no, don't answer that. We'll talk about him tomorrow.
okay, tomorrow we'll talk about him tomorrow. But
Yeah,
yeah,
AJ, it continues. Much as I'd rather have Ciampa's ruthless heel on his own, I agree. DIY versus Owens and Sami could be damn good, and I think that's what the rumor is for SummerSlam. That's just scuttlebutt. I don't know. I don't know
oh
how reputable
gosh,
my sources are. But
right? I can understand that, but
uh,
yeah, I'm okay with it. I
if the
DIY
story's right,
was if the story's right, DIY does the babyface underdog story so well when they're
oh
together,
yeah,
just because of their size and
yeah.
everything. But man, they can
I
work.
I
I
love
hate
their matches with FTR.
in Gargano. I think that's the one that Corny and I don't always agree on because I think Gargano but I see what he's talking about. But
He's
when Gargano and
mainly talking about
Ciampa were
his character.
together, they were so good. They were
I don't.
good.
Yeah, you can't discount Gargano's ability in the ring because he's really good.
But
Let's
man,
just.
some of those one-on-one matches those two had against each other, though, there when
Yeah.
that was so.
Oh yeah. That was right up there with as if Ilya and Dijak were my favorite last man standing match. I think Ciampa and Gargano might be a close second.
Yeah. Or Ilya and Walter.
That wasn't last man standing. That was just
No, but
a house fight.
that was just a hoss fight. But
But
man, that was good.
and that just proves you don't have to be 300 pounds to be a hoss. Ilya
Mm-mm.
is a hoss and a half. You know,
Yes.
so I'm
It
kind
all.
of hoping that I'm hoping the rumors aren't true with him that they're bringing him up to join Imperium because I think he's better as a baby face. Although
I'm
you can't
torn.
go wrong. You can't go wrong with a good Russian heel though,
Right.
or
Right?
a
Or
Yugoslavian.
Yugoslavian.
He'd AJ to it.
Ha! We beat you, AJ.
Uh,
Um,
all right, so let's talk main
let's
event.
move on. Yep.
Carmelo and Braun. Uh, I don't see how they could have a bad match between them. They're both
No.
they're clearly the two best guys on the roster right now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Clearly.
I like that Melo went over. I think he's got more business with that title than Braun does and if Braun is going up to the main roster, it makes sense.
Who
Uh,
should be Braun's next fight, though?
Braun
Hmm.
or Melo?
No, Braun.
Uh,
Mello. See, Mello. I have a feeling it's going to be. What's your thought?
if Braun hadn't just turned heel, I would say him and Dijak. But as far as the baby faces go, it's hard to say. I mean, he's beaten just about everybody. He beat Tyler Bate already in that unification
Hmm.
match. Uh, Lawler's gone. Uh, Graves Grimes is gone. Uh, yeah, I don't know who would be from the babyface side for Braun. That's why I think
What
it
about
might
Dragon Lee?
possibly. I
I
think
know it's. I know it's not a match of styles, but
no, but
might be fun to see how far Braun can throw him.
well, this is very true. Uh, I think if they get him away from the Chase U stuff, Braun and Duke Hudson would be a good match.
Well, isn't Chase U supposed to be baby right now?
They are, so that match could happen.
So it could
But
happen.
I don't want Chase U Duke. I want to have the Gambler Duke
I want the
from when he
Gambler
first came
Duke
up.
back. Yes, I want the tournament Duke Hudson back.
Yeah.
But and okay, so who's next for Mello then?
Uh, I would say if I had to pick, and a part of me wants to say Joe Gacy, but it seems like he's always the first opponent when somebody has a gets the title. But he's such a good storyteller right now, like
But
Bill
I don't
McMahon's.
I his faction though, I don't feel like they've got their footing yet.
Not yet. No.
They don't have their footing yet.
Simone is still very green. Oh,
Yes.
sorry, Ava Rain, daughter of the Rock, as we know.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long the Grizzled Young Veterans are going to stay. I keep hearing that they've asked for their release. That I don't know if they've been granted it, if they've put their notice in. I don't know what the deal is with them, so I don't know how long they're going to be in the faction for.
Right.
Uh, we haven't seen D'Angelo in a while, so I don't know
Ugh, do
if
we
he's an
have to?
option.
I don't like D'Angelo.
Ooh, that's a good idea, AJ. Call down Cedric Alexander to NXT since main roster ain't doing anything with him. You're not wrong.
That would be
Mello and
fun.
Cedric could be a hell of a cruiserweight match. That is a heavyweight championship match, my friend. I know they're cruiserweights, but
That could be
uh,
fun.
yeah. Hey, I'm gonna throw something else at you. What about Trick Williams?
Do you
What if Trick turns on
what if
Mello?
Trick turns? But then you got another heel.
Yeah, that's somebody from
I
Mello.
yeah, but I don't think Trick's ready for all that yet, do you?
I
The
don't know.
promos would be fun.
The
The
promos would
promos
be awesome.
The promos would be
The
great.
guys in the barbershop have to pick sides.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, we have to see more from NXT. Everybody's stepping up these days. It's getting back up to that level that they were before the 2.0.
They're getting there. They're not
They're
quite
getting
there
there.
yet.
Getting there.
They're
Yeah.
not there yet, but it's getting closer.
Oh, what about Reggie?
You know who
Oh,
might not be too bad? But the problem is he's face. I wouldn't mind seeing Mello and Wesley.
well, we've had Mello and Wesley though.
I wouldn't
Because
mind seeing it
Wesley
again.
Wesley took the North American title off Mello,
I know, but now that
which
Wes is
but
controlling
that
his
makes
moves, wasn't that a multi-man match? Although, anyway,
I don't
it
think so.
wasn't
I think it might have
one-on-one,
been.
was it?
It might have been. But there could be your story though that Wesley's the guy that took the belt off Mello. Maybe he wants to do it again. You never know. You know.
Exactly. There you go.
Uh,
But then, who do you have that takes it
yeah.
off of Wes?
Oh,
That's
ooh,
that's the
I
problem.
got one. Joe
Okay.
Coffey.
Yes.
Joe Coffey
Yes.
and Mello.
Yes. Okay.
That is boys.
WWE, if you're listening,
You
right?
know they're watching.
You know they're watching. That's the next one.
Yeah,
Gosh.
I'm
Yeah.
saying it now. That's what I want. I want Joe Coffey to challenge Carmelo
There
Hayes for
you
the
go.
NXT Championship.
Yep. I'll take that. Sounds good to me.
See, this is a great when we work things out. And
It
we
is.
just
It's great.
do it on a podcast and take 10 minutes to do it.
Okay, so let's move on
Maybe,
because we only have
maybe, maybe Ilya could be due for a title shot. You never know.
that's yeah. But let's move on from
Let's
NXT.
let's move on. Let's talk
Why
about
don't
our.
you hit Impact real quick because you
Okay,
said it
well,
was
Impact. I thought Impact was a good show. Just kind of running down what happened. Alex Shelley won a scramble match to be the number one contender for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship, which I like.
okay.
Trey Miguel beat Chris Sabin to retain the X Division Championship.
Okay.
Speaking of the Rascals and Wesley,
Yep.
uh, let's see. The Deanna Purrazzo beat Jordan Grace to retain the Women's Championship. Now Jordan cannot challenge Deanna again while she's champion.
Jordan taking some
Then
time off.
I think she is. I actually think that's the case. I think her contract
Yeah.
is up. I'm trying to think what else.
I don't even know really what. I
Yeah.
knew you said Billy
Uh,
Ray put somebody through a table and
yeah. After Macklin and PCO in the main event was a
yeah.
bloodbath. It was
Oh,
hardcore.
so I didn't miss
Friggin'
much.
uh,
Okay.
Macklin stapled PCO's mouth shut, which was off-putting. And
Oh, that was what those pictures were when I saw the pictures of
yeah,
PCO pulling the staples out of his mouth. Okay.
yeah. They after the match, Bully Ray came out, and well, Demore came out first, and then Bully followed him out, and then they put him in the put him through the flaming table.
Oh,
Oh, let me see.
sounds like a
Oh yeah,
good, safe match for everybody.
my buddy Narge sent me a picture with the next 3 dates for Iron Spirit Pro Amenders. Summer 2023, June 10th at Normal. I think you're going to be in Florida then.
Yep. Well, I'll be on my way back.
Right. June 24th in Bloomington. We're going to be in Edgewood, I believe, for that one, unless you've got another commitment, which we're not sure about yet. And then July 22nd in Bloomington. I don't know if I'm going to make it to that one. Hopefully, though, we have several more.
The 24th is
Normal?
still
I
up
don't
in
know.
the air. Yeah, 24th is
Yeah.
still up in the air.
June 10th is a possibility, I suppose, but maybe see if the boys want to head down there.
There you go. So was that Impact?
But thanks to that was pretty much Impact. It was not a whole lot to talk about there. Uh, I mean, good show, not a bad performance out of them. Uh, yeah, so they'll move forward with Macklin. I don't know, be Macklin and Shelley at the next pay-per-view against all odds. Oh, Ace and Chris Bay, tag team champions, beat Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster, who were in NXT UK a couple years ago.
Yep, I do. I remember them.
And
Yep.
they had a really fun match. It was good.
Good.
Yeah. And then Nick Aldis beat Kenny King also. So
Go Nick!
Go Nick. Yes, fresh off his win over Brannigan at the Square Circle Expo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's pretty much Impact. Like I said, I enjoyed the heck out of it. But let's get to the main event here, Menders, and that is Double or Nothing, because I know we have thoughts.
We have lots of thoughts.
Let's start. Let's start with the buy-in, Menders. The six-man tag: Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, and Hook against Ethan Page and the Ass Boys. Uh, I'm just gonna say it. Jeff Hardy needs to hang it up.
Jeff and
I'm
Matt
not
both
saying
need
that. I'm
one.
not saying that
Sorry.
as a hater. I'm not saying it as a guy who's not a fan of his work, which I'm really not. But that's not where this is coming from. He's gonna hurt himself.
Yeah, he is.
He he literally, number one, he missed the twist of fate and almost broke his ankle,
Mm-hmm.
and then he went up to the top rope like he's done a billion times and fell off.
Right.
And
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna blame substances on this because I do believe that he's clean right now. But it's just, you can only do so often before it starts biting you in the ass, and I think it's finally getting to where it's biting him in the ass.
yes. Yeah, AJ. Jeff has been hard to watch for a while.
Yeah. Hmm.
And he
Yeah.
has been.
He really has.
Especially, like I said, when you're seasoned like us and have seen him since the beginning,
Literally.
it's hard to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, that. So now, let me get this straight. So now Ethan Page works for the Hardys.
I guess so.
I'm not following the
I
storyline. This
won't
must
lie.
be a YouTube thing. I don't know.
I was kind of hoping that Cassidy was gonna reveal that he wasn't hurt all along and turn on the Hardys and get Ethan out of that stupid stipulation, so they would get the win and Ethan wouldn't have to be under contract to the Hardys. Uh,
Hey, I'm okay with the fact that Hook was the one that pinned,
got
though.
the
So
win.
that, yeah.
Well, I think that's a cool move on the part of the Hardys, letting the young guy get the win.
Yeah,
Because they could have very easily just said, "No, fuck you, we're doing Twist of Fate Swanton 1, 2, 3."
exactly. So, and I'm going to say it because people that know us know we're 0-1 fans too.
Yeah.
When did Colton start looking like Joey O'Reilly?
Yeah, well, you mentioned that in the chat, and I could not unsee it after you said that. AJ makes a good point here, Menders. You make your career jumping off of ladders. It's going to catch up with you physically. I'm not hating. There's just only so much a human body can take. He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
That's
He is
pretty
not
much just
wrong.
hitting the nail right on the head there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because there was a couple times. Okay, we can move on from that match because I'm
so
over
moving
that
on from
one.
that.
Yeah.
Everybody's favorite fake doctor, Martha Hart, came out, and I'm sure she's a real doctor. Announced the Owen Hart tournament, which I'm good. I like the Owen Hart tournament. It's okay.
It's okay.
I like that they're paying tribute to Owen. I think,
Yeah.
if they don't
Now,
let Vince do it, then might as well let Tony do it.
will Adam and Britt have to retain their title?
I don't know. I'm not sure if that's
I'm not
just.
sure how that's going to work yet. Because
I mean,
they did that, and then they
they
moved
had
on.
they had the belts out there when she came out, so maybe it's just like that's like the trophy. So
The trophy. Okay.
yeah.
As long
I
as
think
they're
they
not
get
sleeping with the belt, like Noam Dar is sleeping with that stupid cup. So.
Well, yeah, I think he treats it like a child, not like his lady.
Yeah.
Which is helpful. Well, now apparently he's got a harem in NXT with Lash Legend and what's her name.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, back to AEW.
He's a ladies' man. Not Noam Dar.
Yeah. Okay.
Remember his romance with Alicia Fox?
Oh yeah, I do. Oh, jeez. He likes the crazy ones, huh?
He does. He does. Some guys go for the crazy chicks.
I guess.
All right, so back to AEW. Show starts off with our unsanctioned match between Adam Cole and Chris Jericho.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
Oh no, it started with Battle
off
Royal,
with
didn't
Orange.
it? I tried to forget about pockets in the Battle Royal.
I know. I tried to forget about it too because they kept saying, "Oh no, Jericho and Cole are going to start it off." I was like, "Yes!" And then when everybody started coming out, I was like, "Oh, damn it!"
Let me ask you this: who did you want to win the Battle Royal? Because I know it wasn't pockets.
No. When there's something to be said about Swerve winning it.
Yeah,
I really thought Swerve might win it.
that would have been a nice swerve.
It would have been. Out of everybody that was in that, though, yeah, I was probably rooting for Swerve. Well, no, I take that back.
It was Big Bill, wasn't it?
No, it was not Big Bill. I miss him as Big Cass, but who was Ricky Starks?
Oh yeah, Stroke Daddy.
Yeah, Ricky Starks was who I was really pulling for. I really thought he had a chance to pull it off,
Yeah, I was
but
kind of I was hoping
when
for Jay White, but you know,
that's not going to happen because he's too
I
hooked to
know
He's too hooked to
pockets,
no,
pockets,
not Rockets.
juice,
Juice. There you go. The other one.
rock hard, Juice Robinson.
CJ Parker. Let's go
Hold your
back to
tongue,
his
lady.
Let's go back to his NXT days.
Bite your tongue. He is Juice Robinson. He'll stick Tony Storm on you.
Ooh, I'm scared.
So yeah, Pockets won with his backpack, and
Yeah, we're still stuck with Pockets every Wednesday for the next unforeseeable future.
we're stuck with Pockets until he beats MJF for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, you bite your tongue. You bite your tongue. Ugh.
You know that's
See?
Tony's end game.
Barry, anybody but Pockets.
I think that's Tony's plan B if he cannot get Punk. He's gonna put the belt on Pockets.
Mm-mm. If they put the belt on Pockets, we might have to quit this podcast because I can't.
Well, no, we'll just have to roast Pockets over the coals. And
All
it's
the
not even a knock
time.
on. That's not even a knock on Pockets. That's a knock on Tony and his fast food booking.
Exactly.
Florida
Jeez.
Tony.
All right. So next.
So next up, we got the unsanctioned match.
Yeah.
Cole and Jericho.
What did you think it? How dumb did you think it was?
It was pretty dumb.
Okay.
The beginning, when it was just everybody fighting each other, was like kind of starting to check out on it until I heard Jim Ross just completely. You could tell JR had it with that match.
He was so
like,
done.
It's like, get those people out of here.
Yep.
For Christ's sake.
Yep. He was done. He was done from the beginning. I don't even think he wanted to be there to begin with.
No, he had a face, and
he did.
He was not happy. And
anyway,
I sent a message out to the group during that. I say, what do you think Bill Watts thinks of AEW?
And then he said something about Bill Watts.
I didn't catch that. What did he say?
He said something about Cowboy Bill Watts. I wish I could remember what he said now. Because it was funny because you said it and then JR made a comment about Bill Watts. I was like, what?
Well, I was feeding JR lines during that show.
Oh, is that it? Is that it?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I got a feeling that he did that. Then Tony probably got on the headset. Hey, Jim, nobody knows who Bill Watts is anymore.
Nobody knows who half the people on the AEW roster are anymore.
Very true.
But
Barry, you're right. He'd find the whole company. He'd find himself if he was booking that
right. No shit.
Yeah, a lot of gaga in that match. Overbooked fiasco as we kind of expected.
Yeah.
Sabu took a few more bumps that I'm comfortable seeing him take at this point.
Well, especially after at the expo, he was there Friday
night. He went to the hospital.
And went to the hospital Saturday morning. Yeah. And he wasn't doing anything.
No.
Except meeting everybody, but
yeah, meeting and greeting.
Yeah. And then oh gosh. Yeah, and then what was up with Sabu's look? Why come out in a suit and a
well, he always has the headdress on.
Well, I know he has the headdress, but a suit? You knew you were going to get active with this. Why did you not come out in typical
in the shiny
Sabu
pants?
Gear? Yeah.
I don't know. I think Sabu might have just not given a fuck. Like, I'll go out there, I'll throw a chair at this guy, I'll jump through a table, then kick me out.
Yeah.
And I'll go back home because he lives in Vegas.
Right. I'm gonna beat the traffic.
Right. Like, I hope you don't need me for the media scrum. I'm out of here.
I'm out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who won that? I don't even remember.
Cole won.
Cole won.
Cole won. He did the knee with the chain wrapped around it.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's stupid. Okay. That's what I checked out. I checked out on that match. I really did. after the chain got, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I can't.
At this point, I was still trying to go, like, I had NXT on my tablet and then AEW on my TV, but eventually I turned NXT off because I wanted to watch it with the full experience and not
Concentration.
having to,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, see, that's what I did because NXT was on. I had bought AEW. I hate to admit that I did that.
So did I.
I hate
I
to admit
mean,
it, but
as a high-ranking wrestling journalist, we kind of have to, so we can talk about this stuff.
yeah, well,
But
But yeah, I was like, I paid for this and I get NXT all the time. So
yeah, I mean, you already paid for Peacock, so we can
yeah,
watch
I
that
already paid
whenever.
for Peacock. So okay,
Let's see,
AJ has
AJ.
another valid point.
Well, last time Jericho was entertaining, he was feuding with Kevin Owens. Not wrong.
Mm-mm.
It certainly wasn't that stupid song and dance with MJF a couple
Oh
years
dear
ago.
lord. Yeah,
How Jim Cornette didn't have an embolism after watching that, I'll never know.
he might have. We just may have never heard about it.
Although, when MJF did his celebration a few weeks ago and did the song, I thought he was really good.
Mm, he
He
is.
can sing. Hey,
He can.
he sang a tune on the Rosie O'Donnell show many years ago
Yeah.
when he was like 5 years old.
I would say when he was really young.
So I think he actually does have a background in like show choir in high school or something. But yeah,
Probably.
plus I love a good standard. I like my
Oh
Sinatra, my
yeah.
Tony Bennett, Michael Bublé sometimes in a pinch.
Once in a while, it's good. But okay, so
Yeah. All right. So
what
next
was
match after
next?
that was, let me think.
Was it Tony and Hater?
I think it was too early for Tony and Hayter. Was it? We don't need to worry about going normal. Let's just do
Oh,
the
was it
matches as we
Wardlow and
think.
Christian? It might have been Wardlow
Oh
and Christian.
yes, Wardlow and Christian. Uh, why it was a ladder match? I think it was just Tony's idea because hey, it's Christian. He has to have a ladder. When in actuality, Christian without a ladder is way better.
Yes. Yes. Any more Christian without a ladder is so much better.
Yes. Wardlow
Why? Go ahead.
Put the dinosaur through a table with a better swanton than Jeff Hardy did.
Holy cow. I'm not going to lie, I was impressed with Wardlow when he did that.
I
I was
hate that
so
he's doing the
impressed. I
swanton,
hate that he's doing it, but I
but
was
he does it so
impressed with
well.
it. He does. But I bet you his tailbone probably hurt the next day. Just saying.
It probably still does.
Yeah.
Uh, do we need to talk about Double A?
What was the point?
I don't know.
What
Uh,
was the point of
for,
him like
for those that
biting
don't know,
off Dino Douche's thumb?
uh,
Ooh, he took
AJ,
advice from Shank.
I think. Speaking of Rosie O'Donnell, anybody remember when WWE had Rosie O'Donnell impersonator whistle a Trump impersonator? I do, because the guy playing Trump was Ace Steel.
Oh yeah, JR did talk about Edge. I forgot about that.
I do
Barney's
remember
right.
that. Yeah. Uh, that's like how Renee called Paul White's show during the
Yeah,
pre-show.
I caught that too. She's like,
But that's
sorry, old
probably
habits die hard. I was like, yeah.
pretty much. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, back to Arn. I know they're trying to make him seem like he's trying to teach Wardlow how to have a mean streak and fight dirty, but Luchasaurus has Arn
Dino
goozled, and
Douche.
Arn, number one, Arn put the thumb in his mouth, and I thought he was sucking his thumb at first. And
I
then
couldn't decide what he was doing. I didn't know
then
what the point was
Luchasaurus pulls
to
out,
it.
and it's all bloodied and all that. I was like, come on, Arn.
Yeah.
It's You didn't do that
Talk
shit
about
when he
too
was a
much
horseman.
gaga. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little too goofy. And then
There was a part of me though that I wondered if Luchasaurus was going to pull a rhino at the end. Because think about it, TLC 17 or WrestleMania 17
help
and
Christian up the ladder.
carry Christian up the ladder. I almost wondered
It would have made sense
it
because
would have made
Arn's not
sense.
doing that for Wardlow.
Hell no. But there was a part of me I was like, "Oh Lord, please don't run this back because that's not going to be good. That's not going to be good at all."
I would have preferred it so much more if even if Wardlow had won clean in this just straight up one-on-one match with Christian, I would have been fine with it. I would prefer to
Yeah.
Christian won, just because I love Christian. He's awesome. He's the best heel they've got right now, besides MJF.
Yes. Yes. But Christian, he needs to watch his bump card too.
He does.
He needs to
I
watch
think
his bump card.
he came into the company with just a handful of punches left on his bump card,
He did.
and that's why ladder matches are a bad idea for Christian.
It wouldn't. I wouldn't hate it if Christian one day became MJF's manager. Honestly,
No, there's a few guys I could see him managing.
yeah. And I think Christian needs to take that role because I think it's getting to the
He's a
point
natural.
where he is. And I mean, this is the most serious I've ever taken. I'll say it right, Luchasaurus.
Okay.
This is
Well, he
the most
definitely looks
serious
cooler now
I've.
than he used to.
Oh yeah, he does. And I take him more seriously now. And I don't know if that's just because. And I get that he was even tag team champs, but I didn't take him seriously. Never have.
He was a gimmick.
Yeah,
Now they're actually presenting him as a monster.
correct. And I'm okay with
Yeah.
it. I'm very
Yeah.
okay with it. So we had
So
that.
let's talk about the women's title match, Tony Storm and Jamie Hayter. If you can call it a match,
Yeah,
we pretty much agreed this is pretty much a way to get Jamie off TV because she's hurt.
she's hurt.
So they
It was
did the
it
whole
was a messy match too. Oh, it
yeah
was bad.
they did the whole thing where Ruby and Paige beat her down in the back and dragged her out, and
Yeah.
then it was just what 2.5 minutes,
Yeah, so in short form,
maybe a little more.
Tony wins. She's the new champ. Let's move
Right.
on.
Now it makes me wonder if I have a thought here
Okay.
because
Is this when Britt's going to turn?
no, this is
You're no fun.
well, that's too predictable. Plus,
Yeah.
Britt's so over right now as a baby face. It was gonna.
And it's done. We're never going to get the turn that we wanted. We're never
No.
going to get it now.
No. What I'm thinking is, and I sent a message to you guys on Sunday predicting that Saraya is going to win the women's championship in Wembley. And that was before Tony won her match. But I'm thinking, what if they have Tony drop the title to somebody, a random name that's escaping me. But
Sky Blue. Let's go Sky Blue just for
let's say Sheeta.
Okay,
Let's
Sheeta.
say Hikaru Shida, and then maybe she goes on to Wembley and loses to Saraya. And gives Saraya her big moment in England, you know?
It's title hot potato, but I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
you
Tony,
could even have Thunder Rosa beat Tony for it and then drop it to Saraya.
Do you remember what I said when you made this suggestion? And I'm scared it's going to happen. I'm scared it's going to happen.
Tell me.
Finger poke of doom.
Ugh.
I could see Saraya and
Tony.
Yeah.
Like building up like they're bickering with each other over the title and then
Yes.
Yeah, because the Outcast isn't enough like the New World Order. AJ has a grudge.
We do. We all do.
Do you want to explain the context there, Menders?
So Sky Blue used to wrestle 0-1. She won the title, and then all of a sudden she disappeared. Obviously, she went to go train with AEW, whatever.
Florida Tony.
But she took the belt with her. And she held it for what, like 8 months? Like we didn't have and it's now the Shining Light title, but we didn't have it for 8 months. So yeah, we're a little bitter. We're
a little sore at Blue Sky, as Corny calls her.
Yeah, Blue Sky.
Not a knock on her abilities as a wrestler,
no.
But yeah, just her solely on personality.
Yeah.
If she ever wants to come on and rebut and give a decent explanation why she didn't send the belt back, then she has an open invite.
Happy to have her. Yeah.
Hell, I'd have her do it on the shootout.
There you go. That'd be fun. That would be fun, actually.
Yeah, I don't think she would agree to that, though.
Well, are we going to talk about the tag team match?
I think we have to. Number one, Mark Briscoe had a great referee shirt.
Number two, I started to care again.
Yeah, they made it. They turned it around a little bit.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Still don't give it two shits about Satnam Singh or Karen Angle or. I still call her Karen Angle, but
did you see Satnam Singh's jacket? I was so aggravated by it, and I really wanted.
That was Sanjay's.
Sanjay's jacket.
Yeah, it had a pencil on the sleeve, had chickens all over it. I think it was like his if Jimmy Hart managed Mark Briscoe jacket.
Right. And well, it had the picture of Jay and all of them when they went to the farm. It was on the
Uh-huh.
back of it. Oh,
Right.
it was so bad.
Yeah, it's kind of gaudy.
It
Uh,
was. It was
I
terrible.
am I'm really not a fan of Sanjay in this role.
No. But we did get to see Aubrey take a guitar to the head.
She took a guitar shot. She got kabonged. Uh,
I
yeah.
laughed a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
I kind of did. I'm not one to promote violence against women, but yeah, Aubrey taking the kabong from Karen popped me a little bit.
It was Karen being a Karen. It was
Uh-huh.
it was
I
whatever.
really can't stand her though,
I
Karen
can't
Angle.
either. But okay, and the other thing I wanted to point out, did you see Mark when he told both of them they better grab the tag rope before they could tag in?
Hmm.
After my own heart.
Mark Briscoe was the best referee they had at that pay-per-view.
Yes. Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
And Bryce Ramsberg actually did a heck of a job when he was out there too. But Rick Knox, I think, got busted open in the Anarchy in the Arena match.
We'll talk
Uh,
about that in a little bit when we
yeah,
get to that
it's
stupid match.
weird. Some of these guys, they have the best bumping referee in the business, and he didn't take a bump, but everybody else did.
Right?
Because Bryce Ramsberg takes a hell of a bump.
Let's see.
That's neither here nor there. I'll always put Bryce over. I love Bryce. He's awesome.
Anyway, let's see. Okay, so obviously FTR retained.
Big feel good moment with Mark at the end of the match.
It
Big hug
was.
and everything.
I still say they missed a great moment with Mark, though.
Oh,
I think they've missed. He was.
They've missed the boat altogether with Mark.
Oh, they have. They've missed the boat from the get go. But
Yeah,
it's like
they did him right having him with Lethal in that tribute match. But after
yes.
that,
After that, they've done nothing but no.
let's see. Nobody does overbooked fuckery like Jeff Jarrett. Very true. Anybody that watched TNA back in the early days knows that is the case.
That's very true. Let's
All right,
see.
let's TBS Championship. This will be a juicy discussion. Jade Cargill versus Taya Valkyrie.
I was
what
cranky.
I can honestly say that was Jade's best match.
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly say that because she's still green as goose shit.
Yep.
But Taya got a good match out of her.
She did.
Yep,
I really thought Taya was going to pull it out. I kind of hope. Shut up. I kind of hope that Taya would win. I changed my wording.
Okay.
But
right, so let's talk about what happened after
I popped. Oh, I popped.
Jade beat Taya. Okay, I popped for the return for Statlander.
I did too.
I did not like that they just did it right there. I think they need to build that. They got 3 pay-per-views coming up in the next 2 months.
Fast food booking.
Exactly. They could have had Chris come out do the stare down with Jade, and then Wednesday do a promo where she challenges her to a title match at, well, I'm not going to say All In England because that's a little too far off. Maybe Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
And then I have her lose, rematch at All Out, and then have her win there. Because I don't think it'd be a big enough deal in England to have her win there.
I'm just glad Chris is back as not an alien.
Yes. Let's see, AJ Jade Cargill is a star. I agree with that. She has the look of a star right now.
Yep.
She ain't a good wrestler just yet. She's working on it though. But she has the things you can't teach, like charisma and how to carry yourself like she's somebody. This ain't the end for her. I agree with that. Although you could tell she had boo-boo job face during that. And Mark Sterling failed her as a lawyer because he could have very easily said, "No, this match isn't happening."
Right. He could have, but no, he volunteered.
They didn't sign a contract.
Yeah.
There's no contract for that match.
Well, and you know what? There's still Wednesday, so you never know.
That's very true. Oh, that's very true. They could say that match never happened. It wasn't sanctioned, so then Jade's still undefeated.
Right.
There you go. Tony, you're watching. That's what you do, Tony. Here's what Tony thinks of my idea. He's shocked. All right. What's next here?
The House of Black.
The House of Black versus the Acclaimed. I
I
admit
was so I was so
I'm gonna
scared AJ what AJ said was going to come true in as soon as that happened. Did you read it in our messages that we send back and forth to each other in our group chat? I
I
was
forget
so scared.
I
He said it
forget
was
what
going to
was
be
it.
the Acclaimed. He said it
Uh
was
huh.
going to be the Acclaimed. And then he said that the dealer's choice, you
Hmm.
had to scissor in order to pin.
To pin.
To
Oh, I thought
pin.
you meant to tag.
No, to pin. I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
no. Oh no. Please no."
Uh, I'm gonna admit I never listened to Max's rap because his flow is awful. So
It was
I muted it on the pay-per-view, so I didn't hear his rap.
Oh,
I
you
heard it
missed
was good.
out. You missed out.
I'll have to see if it's on YouTube or something. But
Yeah, you do. Because there was a knock at Murphy about Dom Dom.
oh my,
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. What was the other one? There was another guys, what was the other one? Um, there was a knock about
You-
Dom
did,
Dom.
didn't you say something about blackface?
That was the people. No, that's not until Moxley later.
I thought there was a reference to somebody being in blackface. But
There
I
was
mean,
Moxley later.
we'll talk about the band. We'll talk about the band definitely.
Yeah,
But I don't
that
know.
was it. Was the band when we were talking about that?
If the
What
boys
was
are
the other?
listening, maybe they can help us out here. But
Hold on,
yeah.
AJ like typed it all out. So let me see what I can come up with
Oh,
here
okay.
real quick.
Well, let's talk about the match while you're looking.
Okay,
The
so the match wasn't bad.
no, the the House of Black. Like we talk about this all the time. They're all excellent.
Yeah.
It's just the gimmick is goofy, and they got Julia Hart with her Wolverine claws in the on the on the floor.
222. No, that was an MJF
Oh,
thing.
Bari says Malachi was referred to
That
as a
was okay.
blackface. AJ must be scissoring with any member of your team while pinning, locking in a submission in order for the. That's a really convoluted stipulation. I'm glad they didn't go that route.
Right? Yeah. And how is it the House of Black with no black folks?
Oh, oh my goodness.
Uh,
Because usually Max goes for the cheap heat on his rap, so and I don't care for that. But
no,
no,
it
that
was it
I may
was
have to
it
go
was
back and find that.
good. Um,
Uh,
do, do, do. I wish I could find. I'm here a minute.
well, this is riveting audio content while I
I
wait for
know
you
I'm
to find this
terrible. I'm
message.
so sorry.
Uh, I
I
like to
can't.
finish. Billy got the hot tag, was in there for all of 20 seconds before Malachi
Yeah,
kicked him in the face and pinned him.
right.
Uh, the lighting was better for this match than most of the House of Black matches because, like on
I
Dynamite, it's way darker.
I like it though.
I don't
Eh,
like the gimmicky lighting for matches.
I do like the gimmicky lighting.
Same thing with like when Bray Wyatt was doing the Fiend and it was like the red lights, or when Kane debuted and he had the red lights, or Sin Cara. It's too gimmicky
Yeah,
for me.
the thing is though with that, and I think maybe this is where um the like listening to corny and stuff. I like when the ring is the only thing highlighted in the arena.
Yes. That's old school.
I do like
Buddy
that.
looks so ominous, but he's getting cucked by a kid named Dominic.
That was it. That was it.
Okay. Uh, such a silly word. Cuck.
Right?
Never
Oh,
heard that word till like 6 months ago when
uh,
MJF called the BCC the Blackpool Cuckold Club.
you got okay. Brody King got so much face paint he looks like a reject from RuPaul's Drag Race. How does Malachi get away with doing blackface? Buddy getting chucked by a kid named Dominic. How's the House of Black have no black guys in it?
Oh, Max.
I I laughed so hard. I thought that was hilarious. I know he goes for cheap heat, but I, how can you not? Come on, Mark. Come
It's true. I
on.
all right. Yeah. I would probably I'll have to go back and watch that one. Uh,
It was pretty
let me
good.
we only got a couple matches left to discuss, Spinners, if I'm not mistaken, which is the
Probably
two
good
at the
because
top
we're
of the
already
card.
at 2 hours.
We're getting there, yeah. Uh, so let's talk about the title match, the four fillers. Uh, MJF,
Did you just say
Jungle Boy,
what did you say?
the four fillers. I'm
Okay.
sorry, three fillers and MJF.
3 fillers and MJF.
So we got happy news at the start of the match. Ty
Oh,
Mello and Sammy Guevara announced that they have spread their seed and are
yeah.
expecting a child.
Yep. And Max used it to his advantage
Oh,
in
so
the
good.
ring. It was so good.
Overall, I liked the match. Toward the end, when they started, I think there's a part where they forgot what they were doing. So they said, let's just do a bunch of Canadian destroyers,
Right.
and they did like 6 in a row.
Yeah. And who the apparently Darby really pissed off Tony by saying he's going to climb Mount Everest next year. Because who really
Yeah,
wanted to see Darby in an Elvis costume?
no, this is what Tony thought when Darby said he was going to Everest. Uh, oh yeah, AJ is. I love that they keep coming back to the side headlock for the
Yeah.
finish.
Heights.
That's actually good.
Yeah.
That's actually good long-term booking, and I do not think that credit goes to Tony. I think that's all
No,
MJF.
I do too. Well, you know what? It might be Darby and MJF. It really might
Yeah,
be both of them.
Darby doesn't. I think Darby's smarter than people give him credit for.
Plus, maybe he was actually listening to Sting.
What are the odds? I mean,
Right? Well, and then here's the thing. Maybe Max was actually listening to Cody.
yeah. I did like the spot where they all did their mentors moves. It was like
Mm-hmm.
Darby did the Scorpion Death Drop, Sammy did the Code Breaker, uh, Jungle Boy did I'm Prettier, right?
Yeah.
Or was it
Well, the kill switch.
Kill Switch? And
Yeah.
then
I
MJF
call it
did
the
the
Unprettier
Crossroads.
too. Yep.
Yeah, it'll always be the Unprettier to me.
Or the submission where all 4 of them were like in a circle.
They did that, and Stacy walked into the room. And was like, "What the fuck are they doing?" It was like a human centipede.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I mean, for what? Yeah. But for what it was, I mean, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. What do you mean you're going to met everybody? Tony Khan talking to Honky Tonk Darby 2023 edition.
Honky Tonk Darby. Oh,
Somebody,
man.
I hope somebody has that on a sign at the next Dynamite. Honky Tonk Darby.
Yeah, it needs to be there.
Yeah. You were alluding to the spot where MJF was offering Sammy Guevara money for the child to lay
Yeah,
down for him.
to lay down because Sammy's gonna because
What a
kids are
slimy move.
expensive. Because kids are expensive. And then Sammy rolled him up and almost got a 3, but we knew that wasn't happening. Come on
We
now.
all knew that Max was winning that match. Let's talk about Max's entrance. Very Triple H at WrestleMania with the throne and the mask and the robe.
Very much so.
A
It was
Burberry
a
devil
cross,
mask.
yeah, it was a cross between what I say, a cross between Triple H and Flair.
Yeah. One point I liked that they did a shout out for the Blonde Bombshell, Chris Candido's finish, the top rope power bomb. Even though I think
Yep.
have they said what's wrong with Max's arm? They didn't say, but he had it wrapped up like a taco at the scrum, from what I hear.
Yeah, he did.
So I don't know if he broke
He
his
didn't.
wrist
He
or
didn't
what.
say. He didn't. Well, no, he said it was his forearm.
His forearm, yeah. But,
Yeah, and they didn't say. And he talked about that at the scrum. How nobody really cares that he hurt his arm. So that's about all he had to say at the scrum. I know, I did too.
I want him to have a Burberry cast
It's
on
gonna be
Dynamite.
great. But here's the problem. So then we have Cody with a cast
Max.
and Max with a.
Here's what you do: have a match with Max with a cast against Max Caster.
There you go. There you go. And and Hulk Hogan. I forgot about Hulk Hogan. So it was Triple H, Flair, and Hulk Hogan.
Because when he retained the Mark's mental state came crashing. AJ's on a roll today.
He is. Well, he's been home all day. We know what that means.
And
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's been home all day.
Him hanging out with the cats and all that.
Hanging out with the cats, probably doing
Yep.
some booking. Who knows?
Surprised I'm not getting one of my
The
cats giving me a
go
time
home
cue.
thing yet?
We still got a bit to talk about. We got to talk about the main event, I guess, Anarchy in the Arena. Uh, I'm just gonna throw this out there. What was the most ridiculous thing about that match to you? Because you have options.
I have too many options. um,
Oh, AJ, there you go,
right?
baby.
Yeah, I told you. I I can't even. There was so much.
All right.
The
Well,
only
let's
thing I
start.
was impressed with was they went this long before one of the wrestlers bled.
Moxley,
Yeah.
namely. Yeah. Uh, let's start with the band, shall we?
Do you have a picture of the band?
Let me see. They were called the Violent Idols, I believe is what they were called.
And
They
it
came
was
out.
like a throwback to the last All In because they just kept playing
Yeah, they were
and
doing the New Jack
playing.
treatment.
Yeah.
And describe for the people the singer while I try to find this picture.
It looked like he had a black mask to about here, and then the rest of his face was painted black, except for like a space about an inch down his chin, and it was red.
Yeah, and of course he was getting roasted on social media for being in blackface. I don't, although it was like ghost blackface. It wasn't
Yeah, it
clearly he
wasn't.
wasn't trying to be racist or anything, but
No, but
still looked awful.
it looked terrible.
Uh, they played their version of Wild Thing, and
Went for like
Psycho.
10 minutes.
Right, it went basically until the Bucks kicked him,
Yep,
which I was ever so happy to see them hit a super kick in my life.
me either. Here's the thing. There was lots of things in that irritated me. There was lots of things. I called it Tupelo at one point.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I
but
liked Claudio's pile driver in the truck.
me too. That was another. I was like, how did I? Okay, AJ just yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, I did like the pile driver in the truck. And you know what? The thing is, I think it's just because it was Casio. I really do. Because I love him.
Who?
Love him.
Oh,
Uh,
Claudio,
Claudio. Sorry.
not Casio.
Sorry. I
Uh,
tried to combine both names. I'm
that's
sorry.
all
My
good.
bad.
Uh, yeah, there was plenty of the obligatory goofy shit in that match. The poker chip with barbed wire on it.
Is it the shoe that blew up
Oh,
in
the
Mox's
exploding
face?
super kick.
It was so dumb.
And but the sad thing is that the explosion on that looked better than the entire exploding barbed wire death
Exploding ring.
match.
Right?
I can't
It
wait
was
to listen to Jim Cornette review Double or Nothing.
Yeah, he hasn't done Double or Nothing yet. He
No,
just did Night of Champions. So
I haven't gotten to the experience yet. I was still finishing up the drive through from last
I
week.
I listened today to the experience. So I'm somewhat caught up, but I still need to go back and listen to some stuff.
Yeah,
But that how is it that Yuta was the only one that didn't bleed?
I don't think he knows how.
And how did Yuta get to do the pin?
That I was very surprised by
Oh, I
that
was
they let Yuta
too.
take the pin on Omega, no less.
Yeah, I
Uh,
was.
I heard there were people that were pissed that the masked guy that came out and screwed over Kenny wasn't Punk.
It's Punk's not coming back until Collision.
No, of course not.
He's
But
he's not coming back until Collision.
everybody wants what they want when they want it.
I get it, but I'm I'm not mad at Takeshna. Hey, I said it right. You should be proud of me.
Nice.
But I don't know. I don't know where, and I'm not sure Danielson bled. Did Danielson bleed?
No,
I didn't think so.
I don't think Claudio bled either. I think it was just Moxley on his team and then everybody on the elite team.
No, somebody else did bleed on their team because I remember making the comment that to myself that Yuta hadn't bled yet. But yeah, I was And the thumbtacks. Okay, was it Nick? Was it Nick's foot that went in the
Matt.
thumbtacks? Matt. It
It
was
was
Matt's.
it was Matt because they took the exploding shoe off and dropped him feet first into
Oh
the thumbtacks.
my foot hurt so bad when he did that.
Of course, Takeshi turned on the elite. He's a fine, upstanding young gentleman with morals and values. He doesn't need to associate with those degenerates. Uh,
Very good call, AJ. Very good
yeah.
call.
So does this mean that he's with the BCC or is he just
That's
Callis' guy?
I don't know. I
I mean,
don't
he would
know.
fit in with the BCC. I don't think Callis would,
Well, I think
unless they
they've been
change the
trying.
name.
Well, I think they've been trying to get Takeshita to join the BBC anyway, ever since
Yeah,
he fought Danielson.
yeah. But Callis would be helpful as a mouthpiece, but they'd have to change the name to like the Vancouver or Winnipeg Combat Club
Uh, but
or the
yeah. So
Cyrus Combat
anyway,
Club.
obviously Mox and them went over. If you haven't
Yeah,
figured
yeah,
that out yet.
yeah. And I'm sure, much to the dismay of many of the smarties out there was no surprise appearance by CM Punk afterwards.
Nope.
You have to wait till Collision.
Gotta wait till Collision, the
Yep,
June 17th, when
yep.
everybody under the sun is having a wrestling match.
Uh-huh. We'll be busy. We're going to 0-1 that night.
I
So,
know, that's what I'm saying.
all right. Well,
Plus,
Menders, that
Dreamwave is that
concludes.
weekend too.
What?
Well,
Oh,
do you
Dreamwave.
want me
Yeah.
to talk about the scrum?
Talk about the scrum a little bit. I mean,
I've only watched Max's part, so it was fun. One of the first questions they asked was how he felt about not going on last, like as the main event. His response to it was, "Who wants to roll around in Moxley's blood?"
not wrong.
Not wrong. Uh, he had a little bit of trouble putting the belt in the holder,
Uh-huh.
and
Hey,
commented
I've been
on
there.
and
I got one
commented
of
on
those
Jay
behind me.
White. I was saying, and commented on Jay White and how he thought Jay White had a problem with all that. So I
Uh-huh.
wasn't. I assume that had some New Japan. They asked
Yeah.
who. They asked who he wanted to fight at New Japan, and he's like, "There's nobody worthy." Yeah, yeah, and
Yano.
he, he
Well,
was
maybe not Yano.
he was being MJF. If you get a chance, go check it out. It's hilarious. It's
Yeah.
only like 15 minutes long, and it's
Was he
great.
eating a pickle?
He was not eating a pickle,
Okay.
but he had his
Hey,
bottled water, so he was good.
okay. Okay. I did hear a rumor that maybe at the All In show in Wembley they might be doing House of Black against Aussie Open and Osprey, which I'm
Oh,
all for.
I'm I'm okay with that. I don't think they would waste their
Great
dealer.
O'Khan. I love Great O'Khan.
Oh yeah, he did say except Great
All
O'Khan.
hail.
That was the only one at New Japan that he said.
All hail.
But yeah.
Another United
So
Empire guy like Osprey. Okay. So yeah, I don't really watch the media scrums. The only one I really watched was the one with Punk after the fact. But
well, I'll send you it because I've been trying to catch him at least when I know MJF's going to be on because he's just gold on a mic.
he really is.
He is,
I told you
and
my only problem with him is that he talks too much about WWE in his promos.
he did talk about WWE and how, yeah, and
Yeah.
he did say though that kind of perked my ears a little bit. He said that if Tony Khan can find anybody to take the belt off of him, that he might just go home. Might not do any more. He might be done.
Well,
And I
he's a
thought
wealthy
that was
fellow.
interesting. He's like, I've had a great career. He's like, I could just go home. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. Please don't, but okay.
Right. All right. Well, Menders, we have finally concluded all of the viewing that we did over the last 4 days. So let's run through these last couple orders of business and try to be out of
Sounds
here at a
good.
reasonable time because I kind of have to pee.
Ah,
All right. So first off, all right. So JTR Hall of Fame, uh, kind of an obvious choice this week after the news of the last couple weeks. But and honestly, this is a guy that we would have put in pretty soon anyway,
eventually. Yeah.
regardless, just for all the what he's done. But yeah, it's a superstar. We're putting Billy Graham
Yeah,
in this year or this week.
this week.
Uh, this week. Uh, man. If not just for his accomplishments, just how he might be the most ripped off wrestler of all time. A lot of people say
Yes.
Gorgeous George. I say superstar. Between the promos and the physique and the style and everything, I think it's superstar definitely. I found some cool pictures when I was doing my research. There he is
Wow.
with Arnold,
Arnold.
Arnold,
That's
and
crazy.
I think this was before Pump. This is when he was still doing Mr. Universe, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And
Good
I,
Lord.
Arnold, not Billy. I don't know if Billy did Mr. Universe. I know he did strongman competitions
Yeah, I don't
in
think
his
he did
later
Mr.
years.
Universe, but
No, but he was Arnold's workout buddy after Arnold came to States, and then he joined up. Well, he went and trained with Stu Hart for a while, which a lot of people don't realize after doing the bodybuilding. So he had a lot of real estate for Stu to stretch out. Uh, oh, AJ. Put George Hackenschmidt and Luthez in there. Drew a shitload of money for decades without doing one tope con helos to his feet. That we know of. There's no actual video of George Hackenschmidt, so we'll see. So yeah, he trained with Stu, went down to Florida, I believe it was. I forget exactly. Teamed up with Crazy Luke Graham, uh, part of the legendary Graham family. And
yeah.
this Crazy Luke was crazy for a reason. He was not the most popular of the Graham brothers after Dr. Jerry and Eddie. Uh, but yeah, this was
The
Crazy Luke
tights
used
are killing me.
Superstar. What's that?
The tights are killing me for Luke.
Oh, on Luke? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. As the story goes, Crazy Luke was using Billy to get back on top of the card because he was kind of a pariah.
Yeah.
Uh, but shortly after that, he teamed up with, I believe that's Dr. Jerry Graham, one of the other Graham brothers. That or it might be Pat Patterson. I
Mm.
can't tell. There were no captions on these pictures.
Ah,
Uh, but even then, like he's not quite as ripped here. I don't know what's going on there. Is-
I don't know.
Yeah. Uh, Fast forward to about 75, he joins up with the WWF under Vince Sr.
Yep.
Uh, it's decided in 77 he's going to be the one to take the belt off of Bruno. Bruno wants to wrap up, not have a run, not be the guy for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So there you see a very bloody Billy Graham in Baltimore after he beat Bruno for the championship. One of my favorite belts, by the way. We'll talk about that, Ari, on another episode of Gold Rush sometime.
I'm
Uh,
sure.
and the story goes that Vince Sr. told Billy the date he was going to win the title and the date he was going to lose the title in the same meeting
Oh wow.
because
Okay.
because he wanted because he was waiting for Bob Backlund to be ready, basically, because
Mm.
Backlund was Vince Sr.'s guy, and so Billy held the title for I want to say 8 months or so before he dropped it to Backlund. Uh, Toward the end of his run, he was trying to convince Vince Sr. to let him have a run as a babyface with the title because he was getting over, but Vince said no, we have a deal, and Vince was a very set on handshake agreements kind of guy, so he
Doesn't
insisted
work
on
for me, buddy.
right, right. So he drops it to Backlund, kind of has a breakdown. But before we get into that, we got to talk about the Grand Wizard, Ernie
Oh my
Roth.
god. I forgot.
Oh my
Oh,
God, the fashion just
the late '70s fashion. I'll tell you what.
yes, yes. Why a small Jewish man would call himself the Grand Wizard of anything still kind of bothers me. But
Uh,
his full title was the Grand Wizard of Wrestling. There he is. There's another picture of him with the turban.
that one's not as bad. That one's not as bad.
It's
It's still
still
bad,
not
but it's
great.
still not as. Yeah, it's not as bad.
Yeah. So Ernie Roth was Billy Graham's manager for his whole title run, pretty much. There's another shot of him with the belt. Look at the arms. 20. They said 22 inches.
That's
I don't know.
crazy.
I think that might be bigger. Uh,
That might be.
the tie dye. You can see everything. You see the Hogan influence. You see the Jesse the Body
Yep.
influence there.
For a long
Even
time, I
his.
used to get Jesse Ventura and Billy Graham like mixed up when I was younger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Even looking at his face, kind of looks like Hogan in this picture
Yeah.
a little bit, but they are not related.
No.
Uh, uh, See another shot of him with the belt.
There you go.
I
God,
fucking love
that
that
belt
belt.
is gorgeous. I don't like belts,
I
and that
know.
belt's gorgeous.
Yeah, same guy that made the old U.S. titles from my research for an upcoming episode of Gold Rush. But uh, there's another shot. This is the same picture I used for the graphic. Just I took the
Yeah.
background out. Single bicep pose, and then during his title
No,
run, he
AJ.
had
Sorry.
what did he?
Go ahead.
Oh no.
No, I never thought that
Uh,
Billy Graham was the governor of Minnesota.
my
Uh,
favorite feud that Billy had was obviously during his title run.
yep.
Dusty Rhodes. So look at that. It had a trilogy. It seems like every decade has like one defining trilogy of matches. Because
Yep.
70s was Billy Graham and Dusty Rhodes, 80s was Flair and Steamboat in 89. The 90s, I would give it to Michaels and Bret Hart spaced out over 5 years. Survivor
Yeah.
Series 92, WrestleMania, and then Survivor Series 97. 2000s, Joe and Punk, because obviously.
Why not?
And
Yeah.
then 2010s, I'm a little fuzzy because they didn't do trilogies. They just ran matches into the ground like 20 times.
Right.
Uh, 2010s could have been Aldis and Cody if they would have had a third match. That's what
Yeah.
I'll say.
There you go.
Uh, there's the bull rope match. No, that's not the bull rope match. That's the Texas Death match.
Yeah.
But the bull rope came into play, and that picture is so unsettling. It looks like he's killing Billy Graham there.
It really is.
Yeah.
It very much is.
Uh, but then they got along. Look at that. I think that picture's
Oh,
taken in
and we're friends
Florida when they
now.
were teaming up. Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta love wrestling. You go from being heated
Oh yeah.
enemies to best of
Oh yeah.
friends.
Yeah. Another double bicep shot. Uh, a little sketchy. After he lost the title and had kind of broke down, he came back with a kung fu gimmick. Menders
That's so
did
disturbing.
not he did not know kung fu. He just thought it would be a cool gimmick, and it was with this character is when he destroyed Backlund's belt, the one that we've expressed our affection for so much so far, which led
Yes.
to the big green being created. Uh, and then he came to his senses, and then we get the Billy Graham that I was introduced to in
I was gonna say that's the
1986.
Billy Graham I remember. That is, and I
This
think
actually, I think this,
that's where the Jesse Ventura Hulk Hogan whole thing vibe,
that's where
where
it
I
kind of tied
started to get it
together a little
confused.
bit.
Yeah, that's where it tied
Uh,
together for me.
this picture might be from '84 because I think that's when he changed his look. But then in '86 he came back to the WWF, and yeah, then he wasn't there very long before he got hurt. Had hip surgery, so they wrote him off TV as a wrestler. They let him retire. He was supposed to be on Hulk Hogan's team for Survivor Series Menders in '87.
That looks so messed up. I'm sorry.
I know.
I don't like that. I don't
Yeah,
like it.
it looks like Hogan's about to punch Orndorff in the balls.
It does.
Everybody give me a fist, and then Billy Graham's not. He's like, no,
It's
I'll
like
just hold on to the
holding.
shoulder. I'm good.
Yeah, I'll just hold on to Orndorff. All right, get him, Hulk.
Yeah.
There
Oh, all right. Well, look at this picture from the Slammies. Billy and Hogan
you
on stage
go.
together.
See, how could you not think?
Exactly.
Give me some credit.
Uh,
Come on.
yes, yes.
How
So
it
after
got
he
confused.
retired, he starts managing Don the Rock Morocco, the Great Magnificent Morocco, one of my favorite heels of all time, but as a babyface.
Yeah,
In Morocco's last real run there, and then he tries his hand at commentary. Uh, SummerSlam,
he
most
tried.
notably in '88. Tried.
Yeah,
I love Billy
tried.
Graham. Great promo guy. Not a great commentator.
No,
God, everybody's
no.
brother. That's what he said a lot during that match,
Yeah.
during that show.
Hey, at least
And
he's better
then,
than
of
Tony
course,
Schiavone.
better than Steve McMichael.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Uh, yeah. Let's see. Then 2004 goes into the Hall of Fame. Uh, After he went in the Hall of Fame, he'd been having kidney problems for years,
Yeah.
mainly because of the pharmaceutical supplements that he'd been ingesting over the last several years. Uh, kind of went a little nuts talking shit about the WWE and Vince McMahon in his later years, which, take it for what it is. He might have been right. You never know. But
Right.
the thing that I always come across, and we talked about the influence, the three guys that I most associate with Billy Graham's influence as far as physically, because as far as promos, it's Dusty Rhodes, no
Yeah.
contest. He took a lot from Billy Graham. But physically, you got Jesse Ventura.
Yep.
It's kind of a weird looking guy.
Yeah. A little
That's a
off.
hot take. It's a hot take.
Hot
Of
take.
course, you got the Hulkster. With Hogan more than
Yep.
anybody, definitely. And
Yes.
then
Yes. Very much.
also Scott Steiner. Steiner,
Okay.
he had the facial hair of late Billy Graham with the blonde with
He
the
did.
black in it, and the big arms. So you can see
Yeah.
the influence there.
You can see the
But
influence.
oh yeah, but yeah. So shout out to the late great superstar Billy Graham. He's earned his rightful place in our little Hall of Fame that is questionable whether it means anything, but it means something to me.
It means something
Uh,
to us.
yes, yes. I think you need to pick the next one, even though I've got a good one on in the can to use.
All right. I'll let you know.
So think about it. Think about it.
I'll think about it.
All right. One more order of business, Menders, before we say goodbye this week, because we're coming up on 8:20. So all right, Top 10 Tuesday. And this one was inspired by our friend Dwayne Menders because he made a
Which
Facebook
gets
post
me
the other
because
day.
but he hasn't even been in the comments all night tonight.
He hasn't been in for a few episodes. I'm starting to wonder about him. I think he's a
I
Marco
don't
fan.
know.
So once Marco left, he kind of checked out.
Gotcha. That makes
But
sense.
uh, but our topic came from a post that he made on Facebook a few days ago. So we're going greatest hardcore wrestlers. Now I didn't say greatest deathmatch wrestlers, which is very different to me. I mean, these guys were not strangers to weaponry and blood and all that stuff, but they didn't. It wasn't like light tubes and panes of glass kind of hardcore matches. It was,
Right.
you know what I mean?
It wasn't
So,
CZW stuff. Yes.
or dare I say XPW.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. So I know you have a list of what, eight?
I do. I have a
Okay.
list of 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 8. I have 8 now.
All right. Would you like me to go first, or would you like to go first?
Well, you should go ahead and do 10 and 9, and then I'll jump in at 8
All right. Well, my number
because I'm
10,
pretty sure a lot of ours are going to be the same. I'm not going to lie.
probably.
Yeah.
All right. Number 10, I've got, I put the Dream on there, Dusty Rhodes,
Okay.
for the Texas death matches, for the bull rope
Yeah.
matches. Wasn't afraid to work with some barbed wire here and there, doing the bunkhouse stuff. So not hardcore in the traditional sense, but he led buckets in this business for years,
You did.
and he could get down and dirty in public, if you will.
Yes.
You know, and this picture is of course from the bull rope match with Carino and ECW, which is one of my favorite matches, just because I love both those guys and I love ECW. Uh, Number 9, I've got, and some people might complain that I have him too low, but my justification is he would not want to be above a lot of these legendary names I'm going to throw out there. I'm going Innovator of Violence, Tommy
Tommy,
Dreamer
Tommy,
for
Tommy, Tommy,
ECW.
Tommy, Tommy,
Tommy,
Tommy.
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 Uh, One of my favorite wrestling personalities on Busted Open Radio. Uh, yeah, just in ECW, he was not afraid of the plunder, but he made it make sense. Is the big thing.
Right. And that's a lot of things with these guys. Like all the ones that like I picked, they made it make sense.
Yes, yes,
It
yes.
wasn't just I'm going to do this because I want to watch somebody bleed. No,
Right.
they did it because they built up to it, and it was something
Mhm.
that needed to be done.
Plus, Tommy was so good at being the sympathetic, like victim, and then coming back when he power drove Raven onto an apple pie or a blueberry pie.
Yeah.
Uh, so he was creative. He used stuff that my favorite use of a weapon in the history of wrestling is November to Remember '95. Him and Funk against Cactus Jack and Raven. AJ gets it. We want to do his part to get others over. Dreamer never wanted to
Yep.
be the guy. Very true.
Nope. He
Uh,
never wanted to
but
be.
but anyway, so this match, uh, they bring out a shopping cart full of weapons, as you would expect, and one of them was a VCR. So Dreamer picks up this VCR and just nails Raven in the head with it, to the point where it comes out of the little metal casing that it comes in.
Oh gosh.
And then, but that's not the best part. The best part is then he picked up the remote and hit him with it. Oh, that's just fantastic.
Oh, see, I don't mind that type of. I don't mind that type of hardcore match. Those didn't
No,
bother me. It's these light
it's the
tubes
unnecessary
and
panes of
yeah,
glass and weed eaters
yeah.
and skewers and all that
So
stuff.
dumb. Yeah,
All right, so
yeah.
we're at number 8, Minders. Why don't you give me your number 8?
My number
I'm
8.
sorry. I'm sorry I don't have any graphics for you.
You're fine. My
All right.
number 8 is Crash Holly.
Oh, Crash. Elroy. The
Crash
late
Holly.
Mike Lockwood.
Hey, when you think about when I was really into the wrestling, really, really watching it, it's like my late teens, early 20s, and he was just always a staple in the hardcore title run. He was always there, going down kid
A-
slides, running away.
AJ, no. I like
No,
Maki Ito is cute as a button, AJ, but she is not on my list, and I'm sure she's
she's
not on
not on
AJ
my
or
number.
Minder's list.
Nope.
All right,
So,
Crash
who's
Holly,
your number
sound choice. For as many times as he was hardcore champion, he's got to get some consideration.
8? Right.
I went a little different. I went down to the sunny Caribbean for my next choice, and that is the great
Ah,
Carlos Colon, father of Carlito and the other Los Primos or the Los Matadors or whatever they called the Matador guys. Uh,
I'm okay with it.
yeah, Ian, yeah, just for the stuff he did with Abdullah the Butcher itself, he needs to be
Right.
on this list.
Yes.
All right, Menders, number 7, please.
My number 7, Vader.
Ooh, interesting choice for Vader.
I put Vader.
Okay.
Don't
I
really
mean,
have a good
yeah, he could.
explanation. Don't have a really good
Well, he
explanation,
was
but you figure most
not
of the
really known
hardcore
for the
matches that you
weapons.
saw. But when you think of most of the matches you saw, Vader was in a lot of them, or he's in some of them
Hmm.
anyway.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Not afraid to
I'm
throw those
okay with it.
potatoes.
Nope.
Yeah.
So
All
see,
right.
I was thinking
Well, my
outside the box, Mark. You should be proud.
nice. Hey, I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. AJ, he does have Big Foley's ear on his trophy shelf. I don't think that's true, but it'd be funny if it was. My number 7, late in the great Frank Goodish, Bruiser Brody is my number 7. Also notorious for the match he had with Abdullah, but just in the ring, 6 different kinds of nuts. And
Yep. Well, you know what?
us, as they say.
I'll go ahead and say my number 6 because my number 6 is Bruiser Brody.
Okay. Well, so let's talk
So
Brody a little bit. Not afraid to bleed, not afraid to get nuts. Ask Luger
nope.
about working with Brody in a hardcore environment in that cage match in Florida. Uh, so yeah,
Bruiser though,
Brody's kind of a no-brainer for this list.
but man, what would his career been if he'd never went to Puerto
Oh,
Rico?
everybody
What would it
says
have
that he
been?
was supposed. Everybody says he was supposed to wrestle Hogan at WrestleMania 2, but I don't think Vince would have trusted him because
I
Brody
don't
was kind of
either.
hard-headed about booking.
Yep.
But you never
I
know.
don't
Maybe
either,
he
but
would have wrestled. Maybe he would have wrestled Hogan at SummerSlam '88 if Flair would come over and wrestled Savage. You never know what could have
you
happened.
never know.
That's the problem with all these is so many what ifs about Brody.
Yeah. He was so good. So good.
AJ says Brody would have killed Hogan and not even broke a sweat. You're probably right.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's not wrong.
Oh, he might have been nice to Hogan because Hogan was friends with Hanson.
Yeah. You
You
know what?
never
I
know.
did have I had a top 9.
Oh, you had a what's your 9?
I thought I had a 9 because I still have. Oh wait, no, I only have 5 left. Okay, I'm good.
Okay, okay. All
We're
right.
good.
Well, since Brody was your number 6, I'll go to my number 6.
Okay.
And it's the guy I told you about earlier. He's the guy that John Moxley wishes he was.
Yep.
Atsushi Onita. To the point that Moxley stole his gimmick, his music, and tried to co-opt his signature match to dismal results in 2021.
Yeah.
But Onita, I don't know how much you've seen of Onita, Menders. There's a
Only what I've
video, and
seen from Dark Side of the Ring.
okay, well, I'm gonna
So,
post a video, and actually, I'll try to think to do it now if I can multitask, of his entrance at the Tokyo Dome because he didn't do a lot of stuff in the Tokyo Dome. First off, let me get this into my watch history. I found that Punishment Martinez Wardlow match on YouTube,
oh,
by
did
the
you?
way. So I'll post
Good.
that on there. I'll post that on there too after I watch it because I want to see it first. Uh, but no, Onita was such a badass. He was not a New Japan guy, but he would like literally he came down for a match with Chono in the Tokyo Dome, and let me share copy link. All right, but yeah, he came out with a leather jacket, carried a chair with him, smoking a cigarette with X's version of Wild Thing, as I call it, the Rick Vaughn version of Wild Thing, playing him to the ring,
Well, good.
and he just looked so cool. And he's the guy that made the exploding barbed wire death match famous. Uh, Whether you want to credit him or blame him, I credit him because he's awesome.
Well,
Uh,
but that exploding ring match actually worked.
yeah,
Kind of.
well, yeah, it worked. It definitely worked. Uh, but yeah,
AJ, cool your jets. I'm sure that person's on somebody's list somewhere.
is AJ doing a Dwayne and trying to
He
guess
is.
what we're going with?
He is.
I know that's not a cool thing to say sometimes, but
No.
all right. So that video of Onita is up on our Facebook page now,
Nice.
and I encourage you to check it out. Even if you've never seen him wrestle, that's hardcore enough. That entrance. So that is my number six. Uh, Menders, your number five, please.
My number 5 is Raven.
Ooh, interesting. I like Raven.
Yep. I love Raven. And like I mean earlier, even when you said even with Tommy Dreamer, you're like, well, it was Tommy Dreamer and Raven and Abdullah and Mick. So
Cactus and yeah,
how can you not
yeah.
include Raven in
Just
that?
he brought Raven's rules to WCW
Yeah.
when which basically means there are no rules. He brought
There are no
ECW to
rules.
WCW in 1997.
Yeah. So
AJ says Raven does have the most reigns as WWE Hardcore Champion. I put more stock in his two reigns as ECW World Heavyweight Champion first, but yeah, I appreciate the candor there. But yeah, Raven's a good call here. My number five went with the Funker.
well, we
He's
may
in
as
my
well
top.
do we'll go and do my number 4 then. So
Is he your number four?
he's my number 4.
Terry Funk. Just known for being a crazy bastard for much of his later career. Before he did the King of the Deathmatch tournaments in Japan with Foley. Uh, but yeah, he did the branding iron. You might say the most hardcore thing he ever did was putting the plastic bag over Flair's head in '89.
Yeah. Yeah, you could go there.
Yeah, it's not the most, in hindsight, the most fun thing to look
Brightest
at.
idea, but yeah.
No, uh, he did slap a horse in a promo once, which is pretty badass.
Yeah.
If he, I mean, not that I'm promoting cruelty to animals, but a
Eh,
horse is tough.
yeah.
The horse could take it.
The horse could take it.
And yeah, and then of course, I mean, the stuff he did in ECW, especially his '97 run when he won the world title from Raven. Uh, the no rope barbed wire match with Sabu, where he lost the title. So yeah, he had. I I mean, I love his run like in the early '80s with Jimmy Hart and all that, but I think my favorite run of his was the ECW run in '97.
Yeah. That makes sense.
All right. So
So we're
since Funker
to your number
number
4.
to my number four, since Funker was your number four.
Yep.
Speaking of, I went Sabu for our number four.
Oh, well, we do have different top 3 then. I'm kind
Yeah.
of shocked, actually. Okay.
The nephew of the original Sheik, of course,
Yeah.
and also six different kinds of nuts, much like Brody. Never met a table he didn't want to break.
Right?
Uh, Not afraid to pull a spike out of his boot if he needed to.
If he needed
He could do
to.
he could do the fireballs. Just all kinds of nuts. He was perfect for ECW and then also by extension FMW in Japan.
Yeah. So we're to my number
So
3?
we're to your number 3. So I'm to assume the Sabu's in your top 3.
No.
Oh wow.
I actually don't have Sabu on my list, honestly.
Oh wow. Okay.
My
All
top
right.
3, like I said, my top 3 are going to be different than your top 3. So,
All
yeah.
right. What's your number 3?
I've got Abdullah as number 3.
We have the same number 3.
Oh,
The
that's
Madman
great.
from the Sudan at number
Yes.
3. Uh,
Yes. Abdullah is my number 3.
the man that proved you can't work hepatitis.
Right? But I'm
Little
really sick and
off-putting.
tired of Moxley using the fork. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Although I was okay with Homicide doing it.
Yeah, I was fine with Homicide doing it. I'm not crazy about Moxley doing it. And I think it may be because
It's like,
Homicide makes it look still important and
yeah.
Moxley doesn't.
This is like he just found that in the hotel. It's like I'll use this.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Moxley, find some more silverware. Get a sport if you
Although
need to.
I can't hold it. The only match I can't hold against Abdullah is that stupid electric chair match. But
The
whatever.
Chamber of Horrors.
Yeah, the Chamber of Horrors match.
Oh my. I could I
That's
could watch
terrible.
Abby and Brody all day. The
Yes,
stuff in Puerto Rico.
very
Also, I
much
think they
so.
had some matches in the AWA also, but yeah,
Did you have a
they
picture?
were.
Did you put the picture up and I missed it?
Oh no, there it
There
is.
you go.
Look at that punum. There he is with the fork, the off-putting man boobs,
Yeah,
uh,
right.
the high-waisted pants. You can't see the curly-toed boots like the Iron Sheik in the picture, but he had those also.
And at least when you put that
Also,
across his forehead, you can't see all the gouge marks in his forehead.
that's true. You could fit a. I think you could fit a dime in his scar tissue.
I thought it was a
If
poker chip that Mick said.
it might have been. King Curtis might have been a quarter. King Curtis IK. He's not on my list, King Curtis, but
Nah, not
he's
mine
definitely
either.
an honorable mention. There's a few honorable mentions, but yeah. So that's my number 3, Abby. I love this when he had Gary Hart with him, and like I said, the stuff with Cologne and Brody itself would put him on this list at a high number. So all
Right.
right, Minders, number 2.
AJ, New Jack.
Hey, New Jack.
Uh,
Very
you
nice.
have to. New Jack is New Jack.
Now I will admit I didn't put New Jack on my list, but
Well, I figured that out, but
yeah, it's
yeah.
I do like. Well, I can't say I like New Jack's work. He was kind of towing that line for weapons for the sake of weapons that we
Right.
talked about.
He was towing that line. But
But the
again,
music
when he
though, when he
yeah.
come to the ring with Natural Born Killers playing, and it played the whole song through that that's kind of music makes you want to go get into a fight.
Yes. Yes, it is. So yeah, I had New Jack at number 2.
Okay, that's a good call. My number 2, I'm gonna take a wild guess that my number 2 is your number 1.
Probably. Yes.
Cactus
Yes,
Jack.
it is. Yes, that's my number 1.
Yeah, not Mick Foley, not Mankind, not Dude Love, but Cactus fucking Jack.
Yes.
Uh, I'm in Japan Cactus Jack too. FMW IWA Cactus Jack.
Terry
And
Funk and Cactus Jack.
that's right. Even to an extent, ECW Cactus Jack. Although he didn't like he would do the hardcore stuff, but it was almost tame by comparison to the death matches in Japan.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
Plus,
it was the watered down version for the American crew.
true. You gotta please the commissions.
Exactly.
The Pennsylvania Athletic Commission is not a forgiving group.
No.
Uh, Although and plus he did lose an ear in the ring to Vader. I make it sound like he put it on the line. No, he lost his ear during a match with Vader
Yeah.
in, in
And a
Germany.
tooth and
Went
a
through his
Hell in the
nose.
Cell with Undertaker.
Taker. Yeah. The fact that he was able to walk at all after that match still boggles my mind.
The fact he's still alive after that match boggles my mind.
Yeah. Let's see. AJ, did Jack miss your list because of how every John Moxley hardcore match plays the music for a while, and today's match just to pay homage? Not necessarily. Just like I said, I think it was just too much weapons for the sake of weapons with New Jack. that he didn't make my list, but I do enjoy New Jack. And he almost killed poor Mass Transit in the in ECW.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not the best choice to ask to blade you during a match is New Jack,
Yeah. I
especially
wouldn't have
when he's
been dumb
holding
enough
us.
to do it.
I think he was holding. I think it was either a machete or a butcher knife or something that he used.
Yeah, no, not doing it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, I will take
No.
less pay to not have New Jack do that to me. All right. Well, Minders, Cactus is your number one, so I
Yep.
think we move on to my number one. And when you go number one, you got to go with originality, and there is no one more original, Minders, than the
All
Sheik.
right. I'll give you that.
Eddie Farhat, the King of Detroit, the original Sheik, the guy that brought really Cactus Jack is the one that made death matches and hardcore wrestling famous on the big stage,
Right.
but Sheik was really the first one to do it, like on a big scale in Detroit. Uh, oh, AJ chiming in on New Jack again. If it wasn't for the sake of weapons, it was for the sake of killing somebody that pissed him off. See Vic Grimes. Yes, not
True.
wrong,
Not
not
wrong.
wrong. But the Sheik, he was the first guy I remember doing fireballs like that they talked about.
Yeah.
Uh, had the various pointy implements that he would use to carve up his opponents. Uh, yeah, just and then he passed all that stuff down to his nephew, Sabu.
Yeah. So
Uh,
obviously, get it.
y-
Understand
yes,
totally.
I
But
think you had
yeah.
a very strong top eight for your top 10, my friend.
I'm rethinking the whole Crash Holly, but it's okay.
It's all right.
It's all right. We needed a good chuckle, right?
We
You
did,
know, I
and
could have been really bad and put John Moxley
oh, don't please don't. I
or Nick
almost
Gage.
I thought about doing Nikki for mine, but like again, more deathmatch than hardcore.
That's deathmatch than hardcore. Yep.
Yeah, because I like Nick Gage. Like I said, everybody has their opinions on him for whatever, but I've I can only go by his my interactions with him, and he's the times I've met him, he's been very nice to me. So
That's the problem. They killed the business.
it didn't kill the business. The Young Bucks killed the business. Tony Khan
Well,
is
that's
killing the
true.
business.
Tony Khan is killing. Oh, Mark, let's pay some bills and get out of here.
What?
Let's pay some bills and get out of here. Yeah, oh, it's kind of scary how well you're doing that, honestly.
Oh, AJ, if you really want to get some heat, make Matt Cardona number one. I just was threw up typing that. Well, he is the king of the deathmatch. Deathmatch king.
Supposedly, supposedly,
He calls himself the deathmatch king. But
Mick Cardona.
if I call myself the Grand Poobah of Central Illinois Wrestling Podcast, then you'd have to call me that too.
I still haven't gotten AJ his wrestling buddy yet. I forgot to give AJ his
Oh,
wrestling
oh
buddy.
no. Well, Minders, let's pay the bills real quick before we say goodbye here. Uh, we're almost at a record time here. We're at 2:45. So,
I'm getting hungry.
ProWrestlingTees.com. Me too. I also have to pee. ProWrestlingTees.com/JTR Pod for all your t-shirt needs for the Jumping the Rail Podcast Network. We do have a new design today, Minders. I showed it to you before.
You did. I
There
like
you
it.
go.
I think
I,
it looks
I
great.
I think it's cool. It's good. Any Pittsburgh fans will like this shirt because of the colors.
Hmm.
But I wanted to do something sort of like the AEW logo, but not just like it. And
Right.
this gets the job done, I think. So this is available. This is actually a one-sided shirt, so the price is actually lower on this one than most of the ones we have. Because for
Yay!
the two-sided, they're like 22. I think this one I got at 19.99.
Ah,
So go to Pro Wrestling Tees, also brainbustertees.com/other/JTR-podcast-network. I'm really getting good at that. Getting that,
you
rolling
are.
that
You're
off,
getting very good at it because I would get tongue tied.
right?
Uh
Uh,
huh.
Next, I'll be doing some Buster Rhymes like karaoke because I'm starting to talk
If
fast.
you do that, I want video.
I don't hold your breath. uh, Mainly because I don't know any Buster Rhymes. Let's see. So for Brainbuster Tees, there you see the stuff we got. This is just a small sampling. We got stuff for the 0-1 Shootout, stuff for just for the network in general. You see the hoodies, the baseball shirts, the T-shirts. We got stickers, we got hats, we got fanny packs. All kinds of cool stuff there. So go check that out. Uh, any little bit helps us keep the lights on the podcast. And yeah, then also, well, we don't have to really plug the Patreon and all that stuff. That's for tomorrow. Uh, if you are a fan of Central Illinois Independent Wrestling, join us tomorrow on the Zero One Shootout. We will be joined by former Zero One USA Junior Heavyweight and Heavyweight Champion Jake Lander, which should be interesting.
I'm gonna have to rearrange some things because I want to make sure that the door is all
Uh,
there.
all right.
I
And
might
then,
have to take Basil down. I'm not real happy about it, but I might
oh,
have to.
oh no, don't tell Jimmy. Uh, but
He
yeah, so
might be
that's
listening.
tomorrow.
Who knows?
He may. Yeah, so that's tomorrow. Next week, no JTR, but we'll have another shootout, and then we'll also have hopefully another edition of Gold Rush on YouTube, where myself and Bari will talk about another legendary championship belt from our childhood. I believe we're going with one of the NWA United States Heavyweight Championships on that one, so that should be fun. And then yeah, keep an eye out on the socials for some videos and chats and things like that. And yeah, I think that's about all I got. Minders, you got anything you want to add before we say goodbye?
Nope, not at all.
All
I think
right.
we
Well,
I think we've went through it all.
I think we have, but we're coming in at under 3 hours, Minders, so I'm calling this a win.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, until next time for Minders, this is Reb. Remind you all, life is hard, work stiff, and we will see you in 2 weeks.